Or even jerking off by yourself.
The guys who, it's more or less like an orgy. They're going to have an orgy somewhere. It's like 4 couples fucking. And the rule is usually you don't look at what's happening to the person here. You have to have like a tunnel vision here, even if it means like having this covered. Because if you look at this, you got to see your boy's ass.
In Kenya, do we have orgies?
Yeah, trust me.
No way. We have orgies in Kenya.
Yeah, you do a deposit because they don't want to have very seedy and dusty people turning up. You're going to do a deposit of 1 mic and they're going to get it after. So it's a free orgy, but you have to deposit 1 mic so that you don't have any riffraff walking from the door.
I think these are these guys who have openly experienced and tested the sexual boundaries. And so they're so numb to normal sex, right? That they keep pushing the boundaries and they involve 2 women and then 2 women become 2 men and 2 women. And then all of a sudden it's 2 guys and 1 woman. I was born a hater. It wasn't my choice, but I became a master debater. I will argue with you because I'm the master debater. So you were saying, okay, this can we talk about it?
Sure.
He was insane and he passed away, yeah?
Yeah, passed away. I don't know if it was like over the weekend or whatever, because I saw it must have been on Tuesday.
Rest in peace, Pana.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, here's the thing. A lot of rugby players, they get heart attacks in their mid-30s. Is it as a result of SARMs? What they're using?
So for a very long time here in Kenya, it's been more or less routine compared to other places in the world where you have professional rugby. It's impossible for you to operate at a certain level without a bit of help.
And I think in most sports as well now.
Yes, but for a very long time in Kenya, it was more or less under the chini ya maji, under the radar. Like you'd have the pre-workouts, stuff that when we were in high school we used to think was like actual bit of help, but it became really, really bad around the time when Nani came here. Mike Friday. He tried to create a fully professional sort of setup for rugby players.
Who was that?
Mike Friday. Remember?
Mike Friday.
Yes, he was the coach of the Kenya national rugby team around 2012. That time we were beating guys everywhere. We were beating, literally everyone was getting a beating from the Kenyans. So he made it very professional, and guys started really paying attention to all this other stuff. Like guys, no longer like Chapo, Dengu sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Very, very professional stuff. But then on top of that, in order to be really fully operate, you have a bit of some tricks. Ukunje nje. Now, I'm not saying that that's what took out
everyone
Majay,
does, yeah.
But it was there. Nani, one of my friends, one of my very, very close friends, this is someone I literally played my very first rugby match with, Tony Onyango, the late Tony Onyango. It's something to do with the heart, to be totally honest. The sort of thing I can remember and I can detect had to be the issue might have been these pre-workouts. Caffeine, if you become too addicted to caffeine.
You think so?
Yeah, caffeine. Caffeine is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. You put yourself in a very, very... Okay, of course, you need that bit of help to just wake you up on the field so that even as you're warming up, by the time you're getting into the field, you need to have like your breathing nice and well. You need to have like that tingling sensation on your body, and you need to have like the blood
That's
all
the
over
beta
the place.
alanine.
Yes.
And
Yeah. So over time, your body gets used to it, and then you're going to up the dose. But it's going to also affect your heart.
right.
You're going to have like situations where your heart isn't really beating in a pattern that is consistent. And actually, that's a thing. That's your heart skipping a beat. Apparently, that's a very bad thing. If your heart skips a beat, that's a very, very bad thing. So it's routine, man. And in rugby, there's one very serious heart condition that if it's detected in you when you're playing professional, automatically you have to retire. Like you have to retire because it puts you in a position where death is just next door, man. You can't operate without the caffeine and all these other tricks.
I didn't know it was that serious, huh?
Yeah, but at the same time, I have to give a bit of a disclaimer. I'm not sure if that is what happened to the late Majay.
Nikulize, when you do SARMs, does your heart rate get elevated?
No. SARMs, okay, so SARMs, at least what the cycle I did, the sort of cycle I did, a couple of cycles to be totally honest, they were supposed to more or less give you the advantages that you get with the steroids without actually messing up other stuff like your liver and your heart and all that, having like all your internal organs growing bigger and all that stuff. But the problem is that anything you're going to ingest has to interface with your kidney and your liver at some point. A lot of the detoxification has to happen in the liver. So it's actually safer to go the injectable way than it is to have oral stuff.
Oral stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I told you last time about my friend Alex Busco, who pushed the envelope a bit too much. He was one of these guys who had studied really
The
all
Mzungu
these
guy,
things.
yeah.
This military guy. He had studied it kabisa. He would be on all these cycles where he had all manner of stuff. The LD40, there's RAD 180, all these things that you take combined, and they're supposed to see the effects that are similar to what you'd get with the steroids. And I tried also with that cycle a couple of times, and I could see the results. Perhaps I'll share with you some pictures.
I've seen the pictures of you when you were a buff guy.
Yeah. But
maybe a question on the usage of it. Like with peptides, I've started taking Retatrutide. You put bacteriostatic water and you mix the compound, and then you have a certain dose. So it's like the GLP-1s. It's the third version of Ozempic. But what I've noticed is it's like, especially for muscle building, it feels a bit weird. I feel a bit muscular. Maybe it's just my mind because I'm shrinking down in weight. But the thing is, it doesn't work without the working out. You still need to go to the gym. But that's how you sort of injected in a fatty tissue area.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Gashao is the guy I actually got this stuff from, but through Leon. And you have to do blood panels as well. So one of the things I want to do right now is blood panels and see how I'm feeling. There's a sensation that comes with using Retatrutide. Your skin feels like it's burning. Do you know what it's called?
I felt that. Oh, okay. You just mentioned something that's very, very important, where you're sort of more or less like injecting this stuff into the fatty areas, not really injecting it into your bloodstream. It's a very, very bad idea to have it in a bloodstream, because I think that's where it normally comes. I've done it once, and I pricked, and I saw a bit of blood. You're not supposed to see any blood.
Supposed to,
yeah. And then I felt that there was okay. Initially, I thought it's like that feeling you get when the beta-alanine is turning in, like it's just starting to affect you, so you feel that crawling. But then there was a certain warmth that came with it. That
my hand right now feels like it's on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a sensation that I'm like, okay, am I sunburnt? Then I was like, okay, fine. One of the effects of Retatrutide is that. But it says when you increase your dose to a significant portion. But we're on 3 milligrams, and we've been on 3 milligrams for maybe a month or so.
I mean, compared to where you were initially, that's a bit of a it's a new compound you're introducing into your body. So, of course, there's going to be a sort of window where you have to get used to the effects.
I was looking at it like, okay, there are two ways to think about it. When you take alcohol and you take all these over-the-counter legalized substances that essentially harm you quite a lot more. I was like, Retatrutide, GLP, Ozempic, Manjaro, it's along the same train of thought, and it's more amplified and done a lot more. There is the aspect of Big Pharma saying it's not FDA approved, because if it comes in, it kills a lot of medications that essentially form $1 billion industry. But I would recommend people getting their blood work done and then assessing and doing everything properly with the coach.
It must be part of your cycle. Just before you get onto a cycle, just before you go to PCT, that post-cycle therapy. Because literally, if you're going to do post-cycle therapy and maybe you're getting stuff to get rid of there's a lot of aromatosis that happens. Right? If you want to use a compound to literally get rid of everything after a cycle, blood work has to be part of it, because then you're going to be able to modulate the dosage, right? If you're not doing blood work, that's a recipe for disaster, dude. That's a serious
blood
recipe.
work I'm doing. So we're going to get done one through Tibu.
Yeah.
I tried Mot C as well, which is supposed to help you from an energy perspective. But I didn't feel anything.
I want to ask you this, Saj, because the reason I got off all this stuff, I mentioned that it had a lot to do with Alex passing away and all that, but I think it was a lot more, the other reasons, like that was the visible one, where I have a friend who was on all this stuff and was supplying me all this stuff, and he's passed away from the effects of this stuff. But then there was this other dimension of, I'm no longer a kid, dude. I'm no longer a kid. I have to turn up to work. There's so many things that comes with these tricks that cannot be allowed in a professional setting. You understand?
Okay, so in reference to the SARMs you were doing,
yes,
what were the side effects you were experiencing?
The main one, and these are things that I notice retrospectively, is my anger issues. Very serious anger issues. And it had a lot more to do. So I more or less expected that was going to happen. I'm going to be in a position where this thing is going to affect me a certain way and all that. And so I just tried to structure my life so that I avoid a lot of conflict as much as possible. But then we're human beings. Human beings are not islands. You're going to try as much as possible to be a person who avoids conflict. And then conflict is going to come looking for you. And then you don't want to be the person who you are just a very chill guy and then one day you explode and you do something that tarnishes your reputation 100%, where people no longer recall how you were.
And
with
so
being bending over backwards to avoid conflict. And now the narrative is you're this guy who's unhinged and it takes just a snap of a finger and you explode into
and that would
a
happen.
volcano. Dude, it was really bad, man.
And SARMs does that, right?
Yeah.
So
it's
for me,
literally.
who already has a temper, if I get on SARMs, would I become like violent, physically violent?
So, okay, for me, I wasn't physically violent. I think it had a lot more to do with just you try so much to avoid the conflict and then it still comes to you, especially with people you can't really avoid because you're with them in the same house, like a girlfriend in my case. But the moment it's going to happen, there's no pulling you back. It's like a threshold. You've gone over a threshold. And you know, those sort of conflicts where you don't really have there's no solution to it. You're approaching it to fight just for the sake of it, as a sort of punishment that, I tried to be a good person and then you refuse kabisa. No, I'm going to burn everything to the ground, which is like the worst thing ever, dude. You get? And at 36, I'm old as hell. At 36, I don't think that's the sort of person that I don't think I have enough of a margin of error to live that sort of life. I get judged even when you're just chilling. You have guys who are looking at you, you are a youngster and you're in all these offices that are supposed to be very needy guys. And you have people telling you that wewe ni vitabu tu, it's book intelligence, but you don't have an emotional intelligence, right? Such things. So you don't want to make it worse. You just achana now, even if it means turning into a scrawny. Yeah, man.
But I think because you Fazar has a question.
Yeah.
But before that, I think it's also because you went vegan, which I think is still a mistake, and we need to address that.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. It was an experiment. That's another thing, Saj, peer pressure is real. The people
Are
you
you
spend
still
the
a
time
vegan?
in. I suspect I'm gonna be reverting quite a bit because those B12 supplements, maze. How can I have 4K per month?
If you remember Jeremy Fragrance, the popular guy, if we can put him up over here, he's before and after. I think part of the reason his decline was there is because he went vegan. And so protein, building blocks, amino acids,
Yes.
it affects the way you look, your hair, the quality. I think if you start, when was the last time you had protein? Like from
meat.
From fauna, yeah.
There's a case that emerged last 2 weeks ago at the coffee club I was telling you about. The one at Alchemist. Yeah, they normally have like a coffee club thing happening every Saturday morning. And they lace their coffee with shrooms and certain legal psychedelics. So there's a bit of butter in a bit of the croissants that were there. I had a bit of that. There were bitings that I didn't know that there was a bit of beef inside the samosas, so I had a bit of that. So the issue is this, B12 is very, very important, dude. Like, I think veganism...
That's iron, right?
It's
B12 vitamins, like, I think I have B12 over there.
Why do you have B12 here and you're a meat eater? So, okay.
Because apparently
it's...
Why do I have B12? I think there's something to do with my iron being burnt out by Reta. And so B12 can help with that. Or I may be mistaken.
B6 and B12 is mostly for cognitive brain function.
Yes. It's very, very important.
Which is the one I'm having over there?
You have a B complex, basically.
Yeah. All those B vitamins are there.
There's something about Reta burning through that. Is that... I may be mistaken.
Not anyway, B6 and B12. B6 and B12 is, if you're not taking protein or you're taking extreme amounts of alcohol, is when you'd want B6 and 12.
12 literally, it's most applicable within your neurons. Within your neurons, like there's cognitive decline. There's a risk of very serious cognitive decline that comes with having a B12 deficiency. Now, all these things, you're a human being. There are certain fights you're supposed to fight at specific times. If you put yourself in a position where, let me give myself as an example, where there's so many things you need to do to set yourself up, but at the same time you've picked this fight. You want to be vegan and you want to be very nini, you're setting yourself up to fail. I was doing this immediately after I came back from Sweden, and coming back from, I think you've also been through that, like coming back from abroad so many years, that's a very rough, it's usually a very, very rough
transition. Yeah.
Yes. So if you want to do that at the same time, because dude, like there's so many battles I could have avoided had I not had veganism as a battle I wanted to fight then, I would have focused on other stuff, and it would have been a lot better in the long term. But because I decided I want to go do that in the same time when I'm trying to set myself up, because I'm not interested in going back to Europe. Yeah, ended up burning a few bridges, dude. Yeah, man.
But you're thinking of reverting, basically, to...
I'm reverting. It's a bit of ethical consumption. I want to move away from just being very dogmatic about it and being ethical in the way I consume. And...
So when you say ethical, meaning... Yani, you have something against the farming practices that make animals suffer.
Yes.
In order to get meat.
Yes. Animal products, we don't have to torture animals.
We don't torture them, do we?
Have you? When was the last time you drove past someone selling live chicken in one of those cages? Like, that's ghastly, dude.
Okay, so then, by the way, how do we kill them? We just do halal, right?
No, so like in the Islamic way, it's a lot better than the Christian way.
Exactly.
Because the way they are raised, the way they sleep, and especially the way they are killed. Like, Islamically, if you want to kill a cow, the cow you're about to slaughter cannot see another dead cow.
That's the thing.
They're put in a separate room. They're slaughtered. There's a way the throat is slit to make it as quick and painless as possible.
Yes. Have you seen how these butchers do it?
There's
blood on the floor. There's things hanging.
See, there's even this thing. If you go look on Twitter, on UK, this whole remove Muslims, a big thing is Islamic, like halal butcheries. They don't know how it's done, and they're like, "Oh, this when you slit the throat, it's your suffering." And they're like, "No, when you slit the throat, you cut the whole thing. There's no suffering. There's no brainwaves."
That's the thing. Like the moment you look at these ethical consumptions and all that, then you get to really understand quite a number of things and why a lot of the narratives around the world, like it's said to other stuff, right? So I remember driving, what is that road? That car road that is heading towards Wangige through Kitusuru. And just after New Kitusuru, there was a dude who had a chicken shop there. And this guy is literally slaughtering chicken. So he has like a cage up AV and there's like chicken there. They look emaciated, they're not being fed or anything. And then this guy is here slaughtering a chicken, quartering it. Amekata wings, amekata nini. Like, the chickens are over there, I can see that. That's torture. You get. So halal, okay. Kosher comes a bit with elements of that.
I think kosher is a similar setup where there's a prayer involved and there's a way to structure it.
Very similar to Avatar. You remember Avatar, that video where...
The airbender, no?
No, that one, Pandora. Avatar, that where you had like...
the blue guys.
Yes.
Oh, the way they kill.
You remember?
Yes.
That's ethical.
By the way, Hollywood gets a lot of stuff from Islam. You know Dune? Imam Gaib or something. What do they call him? The Dune.
Imam Galib something.
Yeah, the prophecy, the return, the chosen one. You know, it's a lot from Islamic stories. The war, the act,
Man. You know, I expected him to say, "Do me a favor, get out of here." You know that mean? Get out of here, man.
I'm gonna lift this whole segment. It comes out as two.
Okay, so I hold it upper. Okay.
Let me move this because I put it for someone who's taller than you. Sorry.
Yeah, like Kenya is not designed for people like me. Like Korea is designed for people like me, man. Like even if I'm in the bus and I want to stand, I can hold like the rail. Upper Kenya, if we had rails guys to hold, I would not be able to hold it. It would just be dangling there like a piñata.
Guys, I hope you appreciate behind the scenes look into how it's set up.
Yeah.
I think we need to get
chill, right?
I just came from Kisiangani's podcast. He had the shure. It's not shure.
Yeah, that's proper.
It's lost the spring.
Yeah, ours will never lose the spring because it's gas strut.
Okay, by the way, a random fucking thing I want to put up on the screen right now. Grand Seiko, and we'll get back to shooting animals and Kulang KFC.
Yeah.
But there's the Grand Seiko watch. We'll put it up on screen over here. It has something called a spring drive. And it's incredibly beautiful in how it's structured and it looks. I'm not sure if you're into watches.
I see you're into stuff.
This is the second watch I've ever bought. This is a Seiko mod. Now, the Seiko mods are meant to look like Rolexes.
Okay. And
so what you have is like the Rolex GMT, the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
A Seiko mod is like 25,000 with an NH35 movement, which is an automatic movement. So you see the way it's moving? It's like gliding.
Yeah.
But it's a tenth the cost. So this is like 30K.
Okay.
Though I didn't want mine to look like a Rolex, so I sort of adjusted it with a Milanese strap and made it blue. So very unlike Rolex. But let me try and find that video I show you. Let me know what you guys think of this So for those listening in on Spotify, I don't think you'll be able to see the video, but those on YouTube will put it up here. Here we go. I'll just put the volume low so we don't get copyrighted.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys, the video is called Insane Luxury Watches Under Microscope. So just look at the
mechanism
Grand
is
Seiko.
already.
The mechanism is insane.
Mm.
So when you look at the Grand Seiko, and we put up the video over here, look at that, how sick that looks.
Mm.
It's got like a blue hue to it. Fazar, check that out. How gorgeous is that?
Mm.
And it's handcrafted, the dial. And look at the movement. It's so smooth.
Yeah.
But now when you zoom in, you see this chuma over here. So it's black.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the artists have hand engraved it is when you adjust the direction under sunlight, it becomes silver. And then the dial specifically, so let me forward over here, Kidogo. Whoever will edit this is right now, we're looking at the... Yeah, you see that it's going silver. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's silver.
Mm.
That adjusts during the light, right?
Mm.
And then if you look at the dials, the hand dials, let's look at that. You see the blue?
Mm-hmm.
The blue is essentially metal that's been heated up to a certain degree. But look at all the engraving.
Like workmanship, that's amazing.
And they're doing this by hand.
Mm.
This is not something they're doing.
Mass producing it in any Chongqing.
Okay, look at the dial here.
Mm.
So you see the way it's moving, the hand.
Mm-hmm.
That chuma has been heated to a certain level where it achieves that blue color.
Mm.
I mean, look how beautiful it is. And look, so can you see the dents on the watch? It's meant to reflect like an icy winter period.
Mm. Like those those places in Stockholm where you go to skate, like a public skate park or something.
So I'll take a video of these and send it to whoever, but whoever the editor is, so they understand what to place. But this watch is around $6,000. Would you spend that kind of money on a watch?
Like personally, I'm more impressed by the must say that if you want to measure civilizations, people who say that you look at the amount of energy a civilization uses, and there are people who say you look at the dimensions they're able to manipulate. So if you're able to manipulate, like you zoom in to within a nanometer, and I still see clear lines and there are no overlapping features.
It's insane.
That's literally the definition of civilization. So that's a very civilized endeavor, watchmaking. I don't know why we gave it like to...
I want to add something that Agar will appreciate on that note. Huh? So the thing with the spring drive mechanism, it literally uses a little tiny electromagnet. So you wind the spring normally. Mm-hmm. There's an EM that now controls the speed pacing on the actual arms for minutes, seconds, whatever. And then this is the part that I don't understand. It has an electromagnetic brake to control the time. So it still uses a mechanical movement to pace it, but it uses the spring winding to generate current for a quartz oscillator.
That's the thing, eh? So the way that most of these electromagnetic waves normally operate, it's usually a sinusoidal curve. Eh? It's like sine curve, cosine curve. It's usually there's a positive and there's a negative.
Okay.
And so it's very easy to create that curve if you, without really doing any much engineering, where you're only relying on this sort of signal, then it's very easy to have that movement that stop. To modulate that, there's a lot more that has to happen, right? And that's the impressive bit, if you ask me. Because now you have to move from this up, down, and modulate it. I can't remember the exact name of the function. There's a function in convex optimization, more or less, where if you multiply a signal like that with a certain different function, you get this smoothening.
Yeah. Because
and that's super smooth, eh?
So the spring drive, can you see over there?
Where is okay.
So can you see that's insane. It has so many parts.
Yeah. And the fact that it's being done by someone who's be able to do their workmanship using by hand.
Check over there on the left. Can you see that on the left? That's actually like a fuel gauge that tells you how much energy is left in the watch. So I'll get the name of this watch. We'll put it up again. And then there's this complicated one. This is a German watch. What is it called? What's the name of this? This is a Lang and Son.
You see the way it's going. It's
Lang
going
and Sona.
Lang and Sona. Yeah, this is like the mechanical parts they have is just insane. So watches, the what do you call
horological?
The women who sleep with everyone.
Horologists.
Yeah. So
that's from Pirate of the Caribbean.
Like our exes, yeah. They're fucking horologists and vegans.
Yeah, man.
Fucking double tandem. So there's specific companies like the German watchmakers that have the horological aspect of time, date, moon facing, like all those complications that exist in this small thing. Like it's just, can you understand the marvel of the human ingenuity? And then they charge you $250,000 for that thing.
I mean, it's worth it because this is a person, whoever's doing the handcrafting, on top of the fabrication and understanding metallurgy and all that, they know a bit of quantum mechanics there.
So I want to get back. I want to get back to a couple of things.
Yeah.
You turning to a meat eater.
Okay. The biggest. Let me just tell you the biggest incentive. The biggest incentive is I found myself in a space where everyone else around me who's working on the same thing is 50 or 60 or 70. And recently there's another guy who turned up who's 80. I do not want to explain myself to these people what veganism is over lunch. I don't want it.
It's very complicated, especially in Kenya.
Exactly, because number one, already, you're young there. You're a youngster over there. Everybody has an opinion to tell you how to do things. Number two, you're the only technical guy there. There's only nuclear person up. So, guys, I don't like attention. I don't like attention. It's a response mechanism to the years I spent in Korea where I want to fit in. Already I'm black, so it's impossible to fit in, but I still want to fit in. I want to just be another person uko ndani. That's a very bad way of trying to fit in into this circle, is to be a vegan. Because suddenly you're at Edge, and there's a buffet there that has been Edge Convention Center, and there's a buffet there that has been offered, and then you're eating rice and broccoli. And then the 80-year-old, what's wrong with you, young man? And then you have to explain, and then they're going to dismiss you. The ladies there in their 50s are going to laugh at you. You're the butt of the joke. You don't want that life, man. That's not the time to have that fight with people.
But I think in life is all about balance. There's all extremes. There's guys who just do purely carnivore-based diets. I'm not sure if you've ever just had a carnivore-based diet, but the shits you get and the unpredictable nature of the shit.
I mean, it's this keto
like
thing.
we're just sitting here normally. Pop! You know this thing is like right at the edge.
Wow.
And it's very liquidy. So your body takes a bit of time to get used to it. So there's a perfect balance. If you want to be vegetarian, vegan, have meat, don't ostracize folks for being part of the extreme.
Don't preach it, number one.
Unless like they're like our exes, they're horologists and vegans.
Yeah, don't go and preach it. There's this keto thing. I don't know. There's a time I was really interested into nutrition, the macros. When you're following up, you have your Carnivore, you want to get the most from your SARMs. So of course you have to pay attention to the macros. And then I came across this sort of keto diet thing where it's just a carnivore diet. And I've even seen the Liver King. There's this crazy guy who was calling himself the Liver King. And
but he was debunked, right?
On the back end, he was doing a bit of injectables.
Completely. I mean, imagine they got his blood reports and they leaked out his whole stack.
The thing is this, Saj. That red pill, masculine, at whatever moment, passed. It passed. And guys are going to be exposed. That car, as a man, you're supposed to only eat meat. And most of those guys who are recommending this sort of masculinity, traditional Western masculinity to other people, on the back end, they normally just contradicting themselves. You understand? I'm really sad, to be totally honest, that I can see it still. There's a bit of elements up and down. Because it's just
do you think I'm very red pill?
No. Where you're chill. Dude, you literally have a ring there. If you are a proper red pill person, you would not have that thing over there.
It's funny, I'm touching it and playing with it, especially when you're talking about red pill content.
It is, okay. This, I don't know, which word can I use? The red pill moment was there, and it was required to more or less wean ourselves off the nastiness that had come with the Obama administration and all those bullshit.
Me too. It was a direct response to that. And that's why I'm saying all extremes that you put out into the human culture, we're a living organism in which we react. And one of the reactions to that was the manosphere. And the extreme end. There's a couple of things I want to touch point on, including ascension. Have you seen these guys that are now in the manosphere that are adjusting the way they look, like clavicular? We'll get to that, but we'll put a pin in that. I can see my ADHD nature fucking taking off. But I just want to cover something. You sent we were talking about this, you sent to me the coffee experience with mushrooms and psychedelics
Yes.
at Alchemist. So it
Yes.
takes place every Saturday.
Yes.
I saw my name and Coffee Pub mentioned in the messages you forwarded to me.
Yeah. So what happens is that I'm a part of this group that's being run by, I think her name is, I don't know her second name. Her name is Dashita. So she has these Thrive events, and she normally does social stuff. There's usually like improv. There's vegan dinners, very bespoke vegan dinners. She organizes all over the place. Just fun stuff. In Nairobi, it's very easy to end up being just some dude who gets home from work, just enters into the bed and is there doom scrolling until like 12 a.m. or something. So she's created this sort of setup where you can meet other people in different settings. So one of the things she does are these coffee clubs where we are all over Nairobi, sampling coffee all over the place. And 2 weeks ago, we were at Alchemist. There's, I can't remember the exact name of the coffee place there. And it's this very lovely Japanese lady and another dude who basically, classical hippie. This hippies from California. Guys just looks like these guys who run databases in the basements. They spend time with servers. Very weird people. So he came with some mushrooms that's going to put a few drops of something in your coffee. And there's one, I'm very skeptical about such stuff because I'm a caffeine person, and I'm usually like, if there's caffeine in anything, it's going to be the main active ingredient. This guy put a few drops in my Americano, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was there. And it's not like it's any illegal psychedelic. He had two. He had one which he was calling the Lion's Mane or something. And it really resonated with, I think I saw a video you were giving Mwafreeka, like some blends of coffee. And there was one that was supposed to wake you up very...
Yeah, it's the different blends we have.
Yes. So there was one where that tiny drop of whatever it is, that mushroom, this guy got from Sexuality. When you described it, it captured what I felt when I took a sip of that katini. And it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. I cannot, if it's lion's mane is known to help you like relax.
Yeah.
And it's known also for antidepressant to a degree.
Am I confusing it? So I tried two. There's one I tried that had me like, let's go. And then there's another one that was like,
very chill.
I was like at peace with the universe.
So
and I was like,
what's this coffee club called, by the way?
Let me just check for you.
Maybe we can shout them out soon, yeah?
Yeah, the Shita does these things every other week. And it's just the perfect place to go meet mamas if you're into that stuff. Huyu amechana na hiyo maisha.
Yeah,
Fazar.
We were supposed to go book clubbing. When are we going?
We're supposed to go to Cheche Books, right?
When? You're never around. You tell me you're here, then you dip for 2 weeks.
Man, you want to go check? There's someone, I told you I'd identified someone for him.
Okay, but what are these exactly? First give me the name of the coffee club.
Yeah, let me just tell you.
And also, there was someone that mentioned Coffee Pump. Do they want to collab? Is that the person over there, or that's just a random person?
That's me who was talking about the coffee pump. Like, I have this friend of mine who's into coffee.
Pana, will you message? Let me read your message.
Okay, it's called...
Where is Agar? Did you mention Gasha was actually supposed to be part of this podcast?
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned it. Yes, you can touch base if you want.
Yeah, Agar was supposed to be here.
I think I sent you everything I have in that.
Not Agar. What's his name? Gasha.
It's called Coffee Club. Maybe I sent Fazar.
Yeah, could you just send it to me?
Okay. Let me just send the entire
just send
thread.
Yeah, send to both of us. I'm also interested.
Sorry.
You have the version of Kenya's Blue Blood. So I was seated across the table from this lady, and she was like clearly very young, a youngster. She must be like 24 or something. And she was talking about how her clients at Kentmere, it's called Kentmere, in Tigoni. Yeah.
That's the milk things, you know? Oh, it's a farm.
Yeah, there's a tiny, not really that tiny, there's a...
Kentaviers or something. What's the milk thing called?
Kevinter's is milkshake.
Kevinter's.
Is it in Tilisi?
No, Kevinter's is only 2 branches, one in Surrey, one at Westlands. Kentmere, there's a couple. Kentmere's Club?
Yes, down in Limuru. So, she's clearly like 21 or 22, and she's talking about her clients, her tenants in Kentmere.
Interesting.
And I was like, what am I doing with my life, dude? I shouldn't be spending time with these people because they're gonna make me feel as if I'm more wealthy than I am.
Is she a Nepo baby?
No.
Hard work.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, I think there's no way you're gonna be 21 and you already have stuff like that without a bit of help. But at the same time, you didn't see any. I just got this the easy way,
Okay.
or I'm just here cruising.
So
Let me just send everything.
Yeah.
to
So
Nani.
guys, it's called the Coffee Club. If you want to check them out, I'm sure they're on Instagram.
Yeah.
Coffee Club, highly interactive and immersive experience. Plus, anyway, we'll put their number up over here. And so essentially, it's like, what's this book club you and Fazar are talking about?
No, so the
You
book,
guys go and read poetry to mamas.
I mean, if it's gonna get you laid,
Like,
might
let,
as
let
well.
me add context here. You see, you know the guys who do stand-up comedy. They're also the guys who do spoken word. Now the thing is, I used to write poetry in high school because of literature. You know this. We spoke about it many
you
years
never
ago.
told me that. You never
Okay.
told me that.
But I used to
There's
write.
there's more color now coming to this picture.
So, so the thing is, like poetry, I kind of like resonate to. I don't listen anymore, but I put it in the same category as music. And we had comedians on, and I asked, and Sajid was like, "Fuck you and your poetry, fuck you," straight up, like not even listening.
Okay.
And then he drops bars, poetry about jerking off.
Let me tell you one thing.
No,
Nani,
the
Fazar.
rhyme went like this.
Uh-huh.
I was born a hater. It wasn't my choice, but I became a masturbator. I will argue with you because I'm the master debater.
Bars.
Yeah, that's a poet.
And then he'll be like, "Fuck you."
But Fazi, give me, okay, you love poetry. Rather than criticize it, why don't you search for a verse that you really like and maybe recite it to us so then we can gauge whether it's something we would fuck with and the audience as well, rather than just throwing it out.
Fair enough. Fair
So,
enough.
so take your time.
I'll find the one that I wrote. I know I have it as a document somewhere on one of my Google Drives.
Mimi,
Okay,
the issue I
okay.
have is...
But is there something you can pull up right now for the audience? What was that thing they used to make us do in high school where you stand and in Kiswahili?
Oh, Nini.
Tafsiri or Insha.
No, not Insha. What was it called?
There was something they used to.
Where it would be like a debate and then you had to Nini.
Thank you.
And then at the end of it, you're supposed to welcome the guys who are on the other side. Ningependa kuambia.
Yeah,
Nini,
you remember that, yeah?
Wavuke, something come here. Then, I don't know. Good times, eh?
It was very good times.
The thing is this, Fazar, I wanted to say this, eh? So when you said it was poetry and you're coming up with poetry, like it sounds a bit counter to the manosphere, that sort of male thing you were talking about, the red pill, whatever. But then rapping is literally poetry, dude.
By the way,
Right?
it is. Yeah, it
I
is
was
a
going to say,
version
have
of
you
that.
heard of Drake?
It is a version of that.
Yeah, it is. And and you can tell me if this is, maybe I'm being, the word I normally use is autistic about all this stuff, right? So this manufactured masculinity where there are certain standards, there are certain things that other people get based on their own personal experiences that they want to impose on you. Where, for example, Fazar here turning up at Cheche Bookshop where they're very, very lovely Somali ladies, where he's going to
We've spoken about this before.
yeah, where he's gonna go there and drop bars, he's gonna get him laid. That is someone looked at as, oh, that's a bit fruity. Yet the manosphere guys who are out here, it's just you need to be cruel to get laid. You need to be, I don't know what. It's
So-
weird, man.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say. Try everything once in life.
Yeah.
Right? You never know what may appeal to you except veganism.
Yeah,
And those horologists like your exes in there.
yeah.
And my exes. When it comes to skiing, sports, poetry, you never know what you really resonate with.
Yeah.
But there are some things where you can look at it and say it's a genuine waste of time.
Yes.
I mean, what would one thing be that's a genuine waste of time? So people would tell me paddle. But here's the thing. I went and tried paddle. As a fat guy trying to lose weight and burning cardio, would you rather work on a treadmill or play paddle? I'll say paddle is more fun, it's more social, and you burn a ton of calories. But it is, in all aspects, proverbially a gay sport.
What is gay about it, to be totally honest? Let me
Like
compare it.
it's like the budget tennis. version.
Yeah.
It's like golf and mini golf.
Okay.
Right? You do, and there's nothing wrong with gay activities. Right? Here's the thing: gay activities have a time and place. When you're dating a mama and you're breaking the barriers, you go and do gay things. Right? When you're with your boys, you don't do gay things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, eh?
Like let's say ballet dancers.
Yeah, ballet
If
can
you're
be a
chasing
bit-
a ballet dancer mama,
Yeah.
you have to do the gay things in order
Yes.
to get the mama.
Yes.
But once you get her, then you go clubbing and you break it down over there. But not like a gay guy. You know, you do the 1-2 step. And there's nothing wrong with doing gay things. I've done gay things as well.
Yeah. Okay. The things
The
that people,
proverbial gay things, not literal gay things.
Yes. Let me ask you this.
Does it make sense?
It does make sense.
Like
Kabisa.
not entertaining nuclear reactor dicks in your ass type of gay things. But
Yeah, man. Like shoving a 6-incher
yeah.
back there.
No, 6.
He was waiting for that. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
What's the most
Gay thing I've done.
masculine
Oh.
sport you can think of?
The most masculine thing.
Yeah.
Masculine sport.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Me, I can think of one. Snap
Okay.
of a finger.
So rugby is definitely there.
Exactly.
But rugby is for men with odd-shaped balls.
Nice. You need to...
I don't even know which one to do for that. I'm thinking like,
Oh, that womp, 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 womp.
There's... Because rugby is fucking brutal. You guy. And let me just say this, by the way. Rugby men are like fucking peak. Honestly, they're like... not to be... Not to...
Not in a gay way.
Like, yeah, like,
I
no,
get.
we appreciate men's sexuality. Like, when you look at Brad Pitt in fucking Troy,
Yeah.
you're like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's like perfection over there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So rugby men in general, like the guys with the big legs, the bodies, the biceps. Sonny Bill Williams. Can we put up Sonny Bill Williams?
I was just watching his Kanini where he's having another Nini Maze, another operation,
Sonny Bill.
Sonny Bill Maze, and he was talking. I love the sort of masculinity that comes with rugby.
Exactly.
In New Zealand.
And it's
Specifically in New Zealand.
it's hard work, it's earned, but there's also the camaraderie. So we'll put a picture of Sonny Bill Williams, like that guy. When I saw him, I was like, fucking hell.
So,
You know who SBW?
yes. You know he converted, He's not Muslim.
He's Muslim.
Yeah. So, yeah.
wait.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
That's,
Allah Akbar!
that's what he shouts before he runs you over on the field. So, you know that you're a rugby player and it says nothing about your masculinity. You can be big and tough there on the field and you can you can destroy anyone else going to come to you. But at the same time, you're going to be empathetic to your friends. You're going to go there and you don't talk pointless beef whose point is to beat down your opponent. You understand? There's a version of masculinity that I see specifically around people I spent my teenage years around, where your masculinity is not really based on your own personal initiative or your own... It depends on your ability to dominate other men, where you have to compare yourself to other people and you have to be the biggest guy in the room and you have to assert it.
Where does that come from? Because I've seen instances where the gentleman who asserts himself and wants to be dominant can either be A, raging homo, or B, he's a person that's dealt with, well, I wouldn't call it civic disobedience. What's the one when at home you're beaten by your parents?
Like there's a bit of childhood trauma there.
Childhood trauma, right? Where the dad's only way to communicate with the son is through assertive violence.
Shouting to them and all that.
And so that is a reflection of how they treat other people. But in Saints, there were instances where the big bully, several years later, was basically a Fiona, right? And it was maybe a way for him to deny the fact that he wasn't gay and to show that I'm not gay, because being gay when we were in high school was frowned upon, right? It was like you made fun of. And so anything to distance themselves from that narrative and keep that part hidden. Whereas today it's more, you were morally ambiguous back then, but right now you can be more open with your sexuality and the world is welcoming.
Yeah.
And you can find your place inside. So I think that was possibly a reason some kids were like that. I'm not sure if you agree.
Mimi, specific. I can't really talk about other spaces. I can only talk about my own space, personal space.
Which is rugby.
Yeah, which is rugby. Before rugby, there was a bit of... I've sung in a choir before,
Wait, start giving him shit. Give him shit.
Have you found a poetry that you can just...
I was looking for the one I wrote. I won 2 awards for it.
No way.
I won 2 awards for it. I'm trying to find
this
it.
guy. I'm telling you,
I used to write a lot. Like English, I used to write. Like, in the exam when they tell you write 2 pages and you ask for an extra paper.
Yeah,
has Akil ever posted anything on his Instagram?
I think this was before
he has.
This was many years ago. I don't know if it's still part of his life.
I met Akil maybe 2 years ago. I think there was something he posted on his Instagram when it comes to poetry.
I know.
Can I check at that?
Check. I'm trying to find the one I wrote. Because
You have a stash of poetry.
I only have like 2 or 3, but let me explain what happened. Like literally, I got to school late because I always get to school late. Everyone is writing. May sit next to my desk mate. His name is Dhruv in Canada now. Fuck you, Dhruv, man. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, what's happening? He's like, grab a paper and write that thing. So there's like, write a poem about something. I grab the paper, I write, teacher comes in, bends down, me, I'm still writing, I finish, hand it in. We're supposed to get the results next week. They delayed it. The next week, I was called to the principal's office. Ma'am, I'm there. My dad was called, principal, and both English teachers are there. Hiya, where'd you get this? Where'd you get this from? I'm looking at him like, I wrote it. No, where did you copy it from? I wrote it. And I'm like, I came to school even late. I wrote it quick, and that was the end of it. They announced the next week. I won something. It was given a school award, and then there was an inter-school tournament something, and someone had asked to use it. I said, sure. Won an award there. I was like, yeah.
Look at that. We have a poet here.
So
We have Edgar Allan Poe here.
Akil has something called Break the Ceiling. Is that his poetry thing? No, that's okay, sorry.
I don't think so.
By the way, Akil is actually the founder of Tasty Grubs. So for those of you that are not aware, they do cloud kitchens, and they have recently opened up a restaurant.
Where at?
Actually, they've got multiple restaurants. What's the Tasty Ayeo? Is a Somali-based
So
restaurant?
there's Ayeo next to Yaya Center.
Apparently, it's very, very,
It's very good Somali cuisine.
Yeah.
Very fucking good. Then
That's where you're going to take your girlfriend from Cheche.
100%. And
Nice.
I'm going there with the kills card. I'm like tapping everything.
Just
And
go
then,
there.
what is the burger place called?
At Soy Center, they have the Supreme Smash Burger, which this is not me kissing
I've seen it on
such
Globo.
ass. Is I really like it
Fazar saying it's the best burger, which I was saying is quite
because
high
I've had
praise.
Mama Rocks, I've had Rocco
Okay.
Mamas, I've had. I think like if you make a nice homemade burger at home, sure.
Yeah,
But if you want to go out and eat,
it's
Mama
good.
Rocks.
it's really good.
I was saying. So I haven't had the pleasure of having Akil's burger, but it's quite high praise from Fazad. So I still have to have it and then judge. But I'm assuming because he loves food, he's a foodie, so it does stack high. But what I was saying is one of the best burger places in Kenya, Burger Hut. Do you remember the one opposite Black Diamond?
Yeah, but when was that, Mazi?
It was like, it's been around since the 80s. My mzee and them
man.
used to go there, and it's still there. Guys in the comments, the audience viewing, if you can agree with me, have you ever been to Burger Hut? Have you tasted their Sloppy Joe burgers?
It's still there.
It's still there.
Because like there's a time the time that I did a bit of exploration of food places in
By the way,
Nairobi.
Aga, can I just compliment you? I love having you on the podcast, bro.
Why? Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
such a random.
It's so easy to riff with you. Like, you're such a natural at it. To be honest, you're one of the coffee pump cohorts.
Thank you.
I
for
can
the
always
kind
count on you.
words.
Fazal, don't you agree? It's like so easy for us to just start a topic and go.
I'm just
There's some people where it's very one-sided. So you ask them a question and they'll start off and their train of thought will stop.
yeah.
You know, and I guess maybe to them we're sort of like a rounding error of a rounding error where we're negligible. Coffee Pump Podcast doesn't exist in their mind. So they're just doing it because they need to promote something.
Yeah.
And so it feels very forced.
It's very choreographed.
Whereas here we've created a small cadre. You know, we've collected unison of a nuclear scientist, a poet, and a pathological master hater.
Okay, just before we go back to the whatever.
Yeah.
So I was doing a bit of exploration of the food places, and I went to Mama Rocks, and I saw. So the reason why I haven't gone.
Mama Rocks is the chicken wings, guys, or
They have a kakanini there in La Vie, close to where
the
I've moved
burger
to.
guys. The burger guys, yeah.
They have
yeah,
a platter
yeah.
there. They had a nini hapo hivyo that was vegan. I was more or less just looking for vegan places, just exploring vegan places all over the place, and I really, really loved it. It's all like Mateo's. Mateo's was a time they used to have pizzas at Mateo's, not pizzas, burgers at Mateo's, but there were no vegan options. But the crazy thing about this is, I don't like surprises, and I've realized I don't really like trying new stuff. I would be open to try this one, the one you see is next to Black Diamond, compared to whatever it is you're saying inside it. I've seen so many proper reviews of it. There's this, I think, the girl is called Indian Thing on Instagram. There's this very nice thick Indian on IG. You don't know?
Who's that?
She does food. She does food reviews all over the place, and she ranks. What's the name of it? The one outside it. Yeah, that's my type.
Yeah,
That's my type.
You like those
I like them
voluptuous
nice and
types?
plump. Yeah, that's one.
I can't see. You know, I'm
Really
so
enough.
fucking blind by the way. Can I?
Yeah, we did a bit of a tangent.
Fazal, point again.
I'm sending you on your phone.
So I'm doing like super zoom, like
She's
Superman.
That's my type.
Indian thing.
Yeah, Indian Thing.
All right, let's check her out.
But you always remember, if Byron was here,
Indian thing, you're getting a free shout out.
yeah, that's my type.
Indian thing.
Yeah.
Send it to your phone, check.
She's got a pretty decent following.
Yeah. She's the one who...
I've seen her. To be honest, I don't fuck with her shit.
Yeah, because
But
you guys don't like proper... You like...
No, I'm not commenting on her beauty. Like, that's for you. You clearly like her. But for me, like, food reviewers and like whatever she's posting, I mean, shout out to her. It's work.
Okay.
It's not just something I follow or I fuck with. Right?
You know, we've taken a massive tangent. We'd already said the way I sang in a choir.
Yes. Can you explain to us the genesis of that? And also, Fazar, you owe us a
improv recitation of your best poem ever.
I found the poem. I am not
go
reading
for
it.
it.
No,
I am not reading it.
You have to read it.
I will not.
You have to be serious.
I have just realized
Then
I wrote this in a dark place in my life.
Literally, that's the sort of
Fucking
stuff.
read it.
I am
That's
not reading this.
Literally.
Read it. We will read it for you.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Listen, context. I wrote this in a very, very dark time of my life.
Okay.
All right. This
Okay, maybe just give us more context.
no. This
What class were you in? How old were you?
I was, I think, 11th grade finishing school.
Okay, you're quite young.
Yeah.
4-year relationship going down the drain over text.
Okay, to be honest, when I was, how old is that? 16, 17?
17, 18.
Yeah, I was masturbating in the living room.
Yeah,
and
me girls didn't want
the
anything
workers
to do
were
with
next
me.
door because I thought I couldn't see them on the reflection.
And
But
they
they
could
all
see it all.
looking.
What the fuck?
Me, I was in the living room because the glass was reflecting.
Why the fuck are you jacking off in the living room, dude? That's
I
like
thought
a
I was
rookie.
alone at home and these
That's
guys
a
are in the
rookie.
kitchen.
Such a rookie mistake.
Anyway,
I don't even
you
know.
make mistakes, you learn, right? In life, it's all about trying and realizing. Okay, this is fucked up. People are
Trial and
seeing
error.
me.
So you go to the balcony.
Yeah, it was some Beyonce video that had just come out. Oh, the one with Sean Paul. What is it? On my mind, film a fantasy.
Like this guy jacks off. This is Psycho. Why would you jack
No,
off
it's
to
the
that?
same thing. Shakira and the Rihanna video. That's the same
Which
thing.
one?
Yeah, how many buckets have you dropped to that? I'm
Shakira
you
and
have.
Rihanna.
Which one?
The Shakira and Rihanna one. I forget. Wait. I forget
I mean,
how
Rihanna.
you...
Baby girl, you're on my mind. You
Why would
feel
you
my
jack off to that?
fantasy.
That's the sort of stuff
You
jack
get
off to.
Beyonce at that time was so good. Right now, I don't know. She's become
She's
a bit demonic.
romantic.
It's a bit odd, but at that time, Beyonce was like peak sexy.
Yeah,
man.
Shakira, Rihanna, this one. Can't remember to forget you.
Okay,
Mbona sijaiona hiyo?
that's
How
a-
have you not watched this?
that's a
1.4
sexy video.
billion.
All right, let me ask you, before we get to your poetry, what are some of the sexiest? Oh shit, that video.
This one. Look, dude, it's literally... What the fuck?
Hiyo
Okay,
ndaiangalia.
what's that video called?
Shakira, I can't remember to forget you with Rihanna.
Okay, so
When did that come out?
This
it
was
after I was in my car?
No, this was when I was in high school. This is maybe 12 years ago.
I was already
can't
in my
remember to
dubstep.
forget you.
Dude, like look at that.
Yeah.
I was already in my dubstep era, so yeah.
All right, so let me frame it this way. What are the sexiest music videos you've ever seen? Number one,
This one.
which is Shakira and Rihanna. And what's the song called?
Can't remember to forget you.
Can't remember to forget you. That's really good. There's one for Jennifer Lopez and Iggy Azalea. Do you remember that? Big booty.
No.
Big booty.
Me, I think.
Do you remember that video? Just check that out. Do you remember that?
Looking for it.
Maybe we could put it up on screen. Hopefully, we don't get copyrighted by all these.
No, if you just put the cover and if you don't get need.
Obviously, the song with Sean Paul and Beyonce.
Mm.
Wait, you're talking about this one?
Yeah, just forward. Just
Comes with
forward
a
it bit.
warning.
That's. Oh yeah. I just already seen booty.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's good.
Listen, we can't talk about this without talking about Nicki Minaj Anaconda.
I feel
Really?
that was a bit.
Yeah, a bit.
That was trashy.
Not
Very much.
very trashy.
Very trashy.
And I had this discussion with someone where I was telling her that Mimi, okay, so I was more or less complaining about a setup they created where I found myself listening to some dude reading about narrating to us a gay sex scene. There's an author, like literally, dude.
Jesus Christ.
They ended up putting me literally there, recording this guy who's narrating a gay sex scene. And I was like, so, okay, the way they saw my facial expressions, they were like, Agar, you're homophobic. That's how you're doing. I was like, that's not the situation. The issue is, even if it was a hetero, there's a certain class and a certain benefit of doubt you need to have, right? I don't want to hear vividly or read what went there, where there's a way you can make it classy.
Oh, so I'll give you an example. I've referenced this story before when I moved to Nakuru. That family I moved in, like the mzes would watch porn together, and
What the fuck?
And the women are in the next room, and the kids were told to go to sleep.
What the fuck?
That's just weird.
Like, what the fuck? Mimi,
They would literally do that. Like,
I think Mof mentioned something like that, and it was the craziest thing I've ever heard. Where when they were in campus, you get a situation where there's only one guy who has a TV, and then guys are there, like 6 guys.
You're gathering and watching porn around.
So everyone has a hard on. I'm like, that's gay as fuck, dude.
It's like the strip clubs for me. I've never really seen the appeal is because it's just a visual show and you're a bunch of guys.
And these guys, it was even worse. Because you're saying that guys watch and then the guys go to jack off. You sort of save the images and then I'm like, dude, that's fucked up, dude.
But to be fair, in GTA 5, I'd like go and get... you go and buy a strip club. Have you ever tried that? And you build a relationship with the stripper.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they're going to give you like a lot.
Of course I have.
As a gamer.
100%.
You know, we're segueing off
Let
a
me
lot of
let
things.
me add something.
We want to hear the poet.
Wait, let me add something.
Yeah, man. We're not going to forget.
When I was in high school,
Is it called we want to hear the poetry? Or that's what you define it as, right? That's the correct vernacular.
Listen, when I was in high school, on this note, is like we used to sneak our phones in. And you know, and you're in like 8th, 9th, 10th grade, porn is a thing, right? So people would talk to each other about it. Me at my phone, this nigga is sitting next to me. He's like, wait, so you open, there was a website we used to use. What the fuck? No, you can do it yourself. We watch together. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? He's like, put it. I'm like, no, you want the phone, take it, go watch it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, put it, watch it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's like you get to know your bro, eh? That's some sort of bromance happening.
Fuck that shit.
So me, what happened is, when I was in Form 1, I don't know what happened, the situation that culminated in me being the resident porn star. Not porn star. The guy who was, you remember those Life Scene magazines? The ones that used to be paid for 60 bob. If you take a...
You're talking about Hustler.
Not Hustler. There was one called Life Scene.
Life Sin.
Literally, it became a scandal. I was caught with I had it, the magazine, and I gave it to someone else in another classroom. And then they were reading it during preps and the prefects found him with it. Ooh. And now it created like this sort of cascade where ilitoka wapi, and then it was a guy who had it, maze.
And so you got in trouble for that.
And I have people who, now, dude, we're not 36, and there are people who bring it up. It happened once, where we were in a chat group with the guys we went to high school with, and then somebody wants something relevant to bring up. We're not very senior people. There's a way I don't mind, for example, the two of you talking about it. And then there's just people that's not the relationship I have with you. You get,
Bro, I know so many guys who they collectively watch porn together.
Yeah.
One of the best places to see that is, do you know the petrol station along Limuru Road where the KFC is?
Uh-huh.
The Somali one.
Well, they refer it to Somalis, but there's a lot of Muindis chewing handas, which is miraa, cut for those international viewers, sitting in a car with a TV screen, all right? And it's usually all these Japanese cars with lights and spinning wheels. And they chew miraa. Some of them are eating KFC and they're watching porn.
It's one of those things where
it's just weird.
Like, I understand if you are not conscious when you are.
Some of these are married. Some of these are married men, by the way.
Because it literally means that these guys planned this. How does that conversation happen in the WhatsApp
How do you sit with your bro? Like, how do you decide what to watch? Just because I want that one.
I understand it. Look, I understand it as teenagers, where there's curiosity. You're driving and your boy's like, wait, I've got porn.
Yeah.
At that time when we were young, we'd buy these CDs and we'd go and try and watch on those portable DVDs and hide, and because you're so excited by it. But these are grown men, all right? After a hard working week, they've just got money, all right? They've told their wives, I'm going to chill with the boys. The boys search for a video for them to watch, and they chew all night, and they watch this shit. And that's how they spend their time recuperating from a tough week at work. What the fuck must have gone wrong in your life for you to use your time off instead of at least playing video games or playing sports or even doing ballet dancing, all right?
Bonding over a porn video is...
Or even jerking off by yourself.
I have a question. What if it's 4 guys in a car and the guy back left pulls his willy out? Then what? Like, do they just say no? Do they pretend it's not happening? What happens? Like, what happens there?
Yeah, I think watching porn in public for them is there, but when you draw your dick out, that's where they cut the line.
No, I don't think they do, because I know two. You know, I've been told that I have very weird tales. It's just a life of trauma, dude.
No, we want to hear. We want to hear. By the way, all this tangent, and we still haven't heard what he recited.
We have to go back to clavicular.
Let me finish it. So,
yeah,
the guys who, it's more or less like an orgy. They're going to have an orgy somewhere. It's like 4 couples fucking. And the rule is usually, you don't look at what's happening to the person here. You have to have like a tunnel vision here, even if it means like having this covered. Because if you look at this, you got to see your boy's ass. Like, it's just nasty. Someone was narrating to me the rules in such a setting.
In Kenya, do we have
where
orgies?
there's yeah, trust me.
No way. We have orgies in Kenya.
Yeah.
I need to learn more
Where
about
guys-
this.
guys are
Before we
wearing-
get to clavicular and the poet.
Where you do a deposit because they don't want to have very seedy and dusty people turning up. You're gonna do a deposit of one mic and you're gonna get it after. So it's a free OG, but you have to deposit one mic so that you don't have any riffraff walk in from the door. Walk in.
Orgies,
happens in Nairobi, dude.
swingers, everything. You know, if you go to a strip club in Kenya, they have porn playing on the TV. Apparently, I've been told.
No, I've been to strip
Okay,
clubs.
Sabina.
No,
Is
I've
that
been
an actual thing?
Yeah,
I've never
yeah,
been.
I've been to. You want to go?
Not really.
Downtown.
Right. I mean, it'll be an excuse for me to get out of the house.
It's an entirely different world when you cross Moi Avenue.
I know there was one opposite Archives. I know this because I was trying to call an Uber a few years ago, and as a friend is like, "Do not tell him you're here. Tell him you're at Archives." What's wrong with it? I was about to say to him, like, "Usiseme."
Right. Strip clubs is different. Strip clubs is there. Strip clubs are part of the culture.
there we were.
Orgies are a bit different.
Yeah, they're happening.
Right.
These swinger clubs.
The swinger clubs.
So many of
Is
them.
that stuff that I've seen it in the West?
Yeah.
I'm positive it happens in Kenya. I'm
Yeah.
just not hip enough to be invited to one of these things. Fazar
there.
and Agar, have you been invited?
Oh, okay. Me, I know people who've been there.
Maybe those poetry book clubs you guys are like, sir, after we read this, Sijui.
I don't know. If a guy's going to tell me,
You go group sex.
Me,
But
what
you've heard of these things. I know
Yes.
about the card. Like there's something similar to the card club where you pay $1 million bob
Yeah.
as an entrance fee, and then
Yeah.
then you have to top up as well annually.
Yeah.
And it's like subs.
Mm.
You have to pay, and it's all organized. But it's organized where they get you mamas,
Yeah. So
but not these orgies.
the
I
way
don't know
they
about
do
these
it,
orgies.
it's they're very, very tactical the way they do it. Like if you're a lady, you can come alone. You can pay that one mic and you're allowed to come pick your
Yeah, if you're a pretty mama.
But if you're a dude, you're not allowed. You have to come with a partner, especially for the swingers, because you're gonna get, this new money. You know the thing we're talking about, the new money guys who get their first mic and they wanna very.
But
people who like
psychologically,
class,
what goes through your mind as a couple that you would allow someone else to do your mama in front of you? And I think maybe, hear my train of thought. I think these are these guys who have openly experienced and tested the sexual boundaries. And so they're so numb to normal sex, right? That they keep pushing the boundaries, and they
Yes.
involve two women, and then
Yes.
two women become two men and two women, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it's two guys and one woman, and then they get numb to all this, and to a point where, I mean, obviously the sexual need is one of the highest needs and wants people have. It's driven societies
It's
apart.
like the fourth basic need.
Exactly. So, but you can't really relate to just normal sex, and so you keep pushing the boundaries. Is that the logic at which people go and operate at?
remember the Somalis with the spear outside your heart?
Not the Somalis, the Maasais.
Yeah, Maasai. My bad.
Sads, I think it has a lot more to do with this sort of modern individualistic society where the body has been commodified so much and it's been advertised so much that you're never going to be just okay with having vanilla sex with your partner because you feel that there's something else out there, now there's something new, and sexuality has to be at the center of your relationship. When, okay, just be honest. Any relationship you've been into, the first 1-2 years where it's new and you haven't really known this person, kabisa, you're going to fool around every other day and there's that
Correct.
sort of really. But at some point, it's going to become a chore.
Sure.
It's going to get to a point where that is no longer the glue that's going to bring us together. Okay, maybe it's going to change as I grow older or whatever, but there's a point where it's no longer that much of a priority. And if you want to pursue this sort of, there's a sex people are having out there that is so organic and it's so new and it's going to reinvent everything, just a recipe for disaster. This glorification and commodification.
I agree. They're like
what
sort of
is this?
different roads that get you to the same roundabout,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing is in Dubai, you guys have definitely heard about this, where mamas get shit on.
Can you imagine? Those weird fetishes.
They get like $50,000, you're flown out. And one of the key takes is to see whether a mama is what we call a traveled hoe. Is if you look at a profile, you can't genuinely know what line of work she's in. Okay, but all her pictures are very provocative, and she's in a new country every other week. Paris, she's in UK, she's in Barbados, she's in Cape Town, she's in Dubai. This mama is definitely being flown around. And there's nothing wrong with it. She's getting her money. But the ones that go to Dubai, what's the famous Dubai chocolate called?
Kunafa.
Yeah, kunafa, the
There's a
Dubai
bit
chocolate.
of,
Apparently, the name came from people shitting on your chest.
Golden showers and all that
Golden
nonsense.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Human beings, but at the same time, Sads, we have to
We'll
be.
definitely have to put this episode on the PG.
Let me add something there. There's this. I think it was a documentary I watched on YouTube. You know, there are these women who, let's be honest, are not that good looking. You're a 5 or a 6, but then they have these really high expectations. And if you go look, at one point they went to Dubai. You know, you've got these rich billionaires who just want to get laid. Are like, I like that ass. Someone messages you, hey, look, come to Dubai, we'll pay you this much. Don't care what you look like, whatever. You're just another, fuck. And then that happens, they get a little bit of money, they go back home and they're like, if this guy paid me this much, I must be worth this much.
Yeah.
And then they live the next 10 years with guys who don't want to do anything with them because they're like, I want a man who makes this much and does this.
If there's
Dubai,
the supply will always appear. It will always appear. And Kenya is like a theme park. I think, so it's a combination of a number of things. We're a lot more liberal than our neighbors, and we have a lot more access to media, and it's a lot easier to access us than it is to access those very hot mamas in Rwanda. Right? I don't know. So, but the thing is, choreographing.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, continue.
Choreographing or trying to change human behavior is just a.
It's happened for generations,
Yeah.
right? If you look at the biblical references, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes.
Simply
Literally,
put, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when I was in Dubai, I went to some restaurant called Amazonica. I think it's Amazonica. It's one of these high-end restaurants. We had gone for a customer dinner. On the table next to us, there were models sitting, at least from what I could describe, and all different tastes, African, Japanese, Asian. And they were basically there with 2 bodyguards by their sides. And these ladies were spending money, bottles after bottles after bottles. And so one of the colleagues I was sitting with mentioned, he's like, this is a very common trait. What these Arab guys do is they all have wives, they're married, they're completely committed. But what they do is from Saudi, they come to Dubai for the weekend and they rent out these girls. They get them everything they need, but you have to put out.
Yep.
And a lot of these girls are okay because they leave with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a weekend.
Yep.
So you get the card, you're taken everywhere, you're driven everywhere, you're taken shopping, you're given a budget, you eat at anything, but Saturday night,
they're going to run a train on you.
Yeah, you're going to run a train. And they come with all their boys from Saudi. And these guys are rich. I mean, rich to the point where you can't fathom. Think about it this way. And I keep referencing Rolexes because I love Rolexes. A GMT Rolex Pepsi 2026 model will probably cost you 24,000, 25,000 pounds. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For you today to go and spend that kind of money on a watch, how much must you have in the bank?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fazar, how much? How much do you think? I mean, granted, there's some guys who only has $26,000 and that's all he spends.
Let me.
But these guys,
my very first interaction with this Arab oil money was in Korea. So KAIST is in the same city. It's in Daejeon. The city is called Daejeon. It's supposed to be the research city, more or less similar to Konza. And there was a research institute very close by, about 5 kilometers away, called KERI. So we had these Saudis who would be sponsored by the government to come and work on there's like a joint nuclear reactor project that they co-own called SMART. And you'd have these kids who have just graduated from their bachelors in nuclear engineering in Saudi Arabia, and they've come to work on this thing. So they're getting a stipend from the government, and they also have something else that they're working on.
It's
since
paid
they're
for.
Professional engineers. Dude, me, I was on a scholarship, and I was getting the equivalent of around 200,000 Kenya shillings, which in Korea is just enough. You're not going to be starved. You're not going to do anything. These guys were in the region of like okay, so it's in Korean won. So I would get something like 2 million Korean won. These guys, it was 200 million Korean won, which is the equivalent to Mike. And you're a student. You're in Daejeon.
Yeah, I've seen
These
that.
guys were like, I'm like, and it's just part of it. So that's half of what they were getting. And then there's another one that they're getting. So the government is paying them this stipend just to be around there. And then the fact that they're engineers, there's something else they're getting. You would see the sort of wealth they're doing in Korea. And Korea is a proper capitalist society where the only thing that's going to limit you from certain luxuries is how much you have. If you have enough, you can have anything.
Yeah,
you can go, they go to Gangnam. Gangnam style.
Yeah.
It's literally a street in Seoul where it's supposed to be full of this plastic surgery clinics, and you have high-end clubs where you're gonna go there and you're gonna meet the BTSs, you're gonna meet the Blackpinks and all these Twice and all these girl bands in K-pop. You're gonna meet them there. These guys, that's the sort of life we did. You're in Korea and you charter in flights. Like, it's just next
Bro,
level.
People have that kind of wealth, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
Mm.
Money is an illusion; it doesn't exist. All right, you've heard of fractional reserve banking. You know how that works, right?
What is that all about?
Essentially, let's reference very old periods. The 1600, even before that, right? You would normally have gold as a currency. But the problem is you couldn't travel with gold because you'd get robbed, right? You'd end up going to places, pirates come and get you. And so they had to create the institution of banking, which is they give you a paper piece and you put your gold in the bank and that paper piece is worth something, all right? And then you go and trade it. But the bank essentially would take your one gold bar and give you a paper piece. But it'd also use that gold bar to give a loan to someone else. So from that same one piece, you've generated an additional one piece of gold. But you charge interest on top of it. So you've generated 1.25, 1.52. That person pays back. You lend that same one piece of gold 4 times to different people. So even if one defaults, people are still paying you back. But it's artificial. It's based on money. And so think about that in modern times. When you put in 1 million shillings in a bank, they loan that 1 million shilling out 4 or 5 times. Because it's digital currency being given.
Yeah.
There's a certain percentage which is kept in the bank, which is regulated. You have to do that. You have to keep 20, 30% of that. But essentially, you're printing money out of nothing. But that money is just circulating, all right? It's going from one hand to another. And these people that you see in Dubai, especially with these petrodollar kings, they have so much throwaway money. It's like spending what we spend on a cup of coffee. When you buy a coffee, do you think about it?
Not really. It's like $1 or $2 or something like that.
Exactly. So imagine having so much money, and when you buy a car, it's like buying a cup of coffee for you.
And the crazy thing is, so that gold standard, like even with the gold standard where there was a sort of correlation between whatever currency existed, and you could like put an equal sign between the currency, which is a piece of paper that has a couple of stamps and somebody has signed on, and actual stash of gold somewhere. Then you got rid of the gold. And now they say that it's a measure, GDPs and all this figure, it's a measure of things like the services, the value of the services that exist in a country and the industrial base and all that. What do you mean by the type of services? What do you mean by the type of services? The girls on what's the value of these girls you're seeing? What this service that these girls offer at the strip club? What's the value of it? If there was a gold standard?
What's a gold?
If you were to transform it into gold, what would it be?
Fazar, Agar and I are running out of stories. We want to hear that.
I'm checking on the
That one, and then I'll tell you
fractional
about the choir.
reserve banking, and there's a correction. When you do deposit, they do have to hold a certain amount of it, but they can only lend out what they have on hand. So if you deposit $1 million and they keep 20%, that 800 is what they have. They can't loan out 800 to you and 800 to Agar.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. Because like
That's what they say. But behind all that, it's like, here's another thing. Like gold. When you put your gold in a bank, all right, and they pay you against it, you're getting physical gold. So when you go to a bank and you want to buy physical gold, they would essentially say, we have physical gold in stock. Do you know that didn't happen, though? They would only give you paper gold. Because the banking regulations would introduce so many taxes and licensing fees and safety boxes fee to hold physical gold, it would be virtually impossible for you to buy physical gold. So they would give you paper. And that's how the standard tokenization of gold happened.
Yeah.
Well, not really tokenization, that's a wrong word. But essentially, you would have the paper weight of gold being offered to you. You're saying you have physical gold, but you don't really have it. Because in order to buy physical gold, they say you need 25% security deposit. You need withdrawal charges. You need all this. So banks say one thing and do the other. But the reason people want to invent... Why do you think presidents want to open their own banks? Because of the siphoning ability of money and having a central bank that backs you up. Those structures seem to be set in place, but...
If everyone was to go now, we've been depositing our gold in all these places all this number of years. We want our gold back. Those guys can't give us their gold back.
Because it doesn't exist, Fazar.
Yeah.
It's mythos. It's fabricated. It's as good as a God of War pornography. It's all stuff that doesn't exist. It's fairy tales. Why are we going off on a tangent? We need to talk about the ascension of clavicular and Fazar's poetry.
And my 1 year in a choir and why it made me join a rugby team.
I read us the poet.
This is a fucked poem, dude.
Let's hear it.
Contextually, also, it's just going to be fucked, man. I don't want to read this. Can I give it to you guys? Read it.
No, please, come on.
Agar, you have such a nice choir voice.
What do you mean, choir?
Choir voice. You read it.
We're gonna. Okay,
Fazar,
give it
Yeah,
to me.
take it. You read it.
you said no.
You want him to read it?
No.
'Cause
I want Fazar to. Fazar, you're very much part of Coffee Pump.
Okay, yeah.
Here's the thing, Fazar. You said poetry is this really good masculine.
I write it. I don't read it.
let me finish my train of thought. Fazar said poetry is what all men should do. It's a masculine.
I did
thing.
not say that.
Let's hear the
The
poetry.
cameras are rolling. Show me.
I want to hear the poem.
Yeah, please.
Agar, you read it. Me, I don't.
Come
No.
on, Fazar.
No,
Don't be that
I
person.
wanna-
go for it.
Like
this
this is as much as a safe space as you're ever gonna
It's a
find.
safe
Ah, yeah,
space.
look,
Aye,
again-
aye, let's keep quiet. Shh.
I wrote this in a dark place and I don't remember. I've just found it. I don't remember. I'm reading it now, man. I should have. I should. Okay.
We're waiting. Times are wasting.
Title is "You See Me as I Show Myself." That's what they gave us. I don't know if I fucking know, right? I portray myself as something I am not. I do not show you who I really am, and you believe the picture I paint of myself. But you know I am not who I say I am. You only know what I am not what I am. I hide behind a carnival of masks and costumes. You don't know who I am. You don't know me. Am I the one behind the zombie mask or the one behind the devil mask? You will never know. You don't know me. Every time you see through my disguise, my painting, another more complex shall follow, and after that another, the domino effect. My paintings are deep, complex, and intricate, all woven to hide who I am. You don't know me. I am one step ahead of you, and I'm one step ahead of you, yet 2 steps behind me. For every step you take, I will pull you back 2 steps. You can't see me, you don't know me. I'm the shadow behind you and the light in front of you, for I am everywhere. You don't know me, you haven't seen me. Passing alongside you in the street, waiting behind you in line for lunch, and even in the mirror. You see me everywhere, yet you don't know me. You will never know me, yet I am here and will be right beside you. I am shrouded in darkness of your. I don't remember why that's there. You are part of me and I'm a part of you. You don't know me, but I know you.
That's very layered and complicated. How old are you when you fucking wrote that?
18 or 17.
Dude,
That's very impressive.
I'm impressed.
Yeah? I'm very impressed.
I'm very, very impressed.
There's so many layers to it.
There's this page I follow.
Yeah, so it's not gay.
Like that. That's the most profound thing I've had
Yeah,
in a while.
that's really good. And you didn't get laid?
I was not looking to get laid in school at the time.
Okay.
Like I was very.
Then what's the point of doing poetry?
You know, Fazar can do that and then have one of these AI generated sort of videos where there's like a visual dimension to this. I think this would be so deep.
But you need a voice like mine. I have many faces.
Oh, okay.
The faces elapse me.
Yeah.
I watch Nicolas Cage face mask or face off. 60 seconds gone in 60 seconds.
Do you want to try chambua that? I know you know
Chambo
me,
inamaanisha nini?
like
to wrap it.
Yeah, like to try to just understand it, like
No, but-
dissect it.
I will give it to you and the audience can comment. I think that was a very deep and layered poet.
I want this guy
I keep saying the wrong fucking thing. Deep poem, not poet. Poet is the person, poetry is the act, poem is the thing. Poem, so it's a very deep poem. It shows that you are at that age thinking in different layers, which is quite interesting.
It's interesting, and the fact that he was able to write that when he was
Why
18.
did you feel as though you had to hide behind those faces? Were you hiding
Yeah.
from people? Were you hiding from?
This is why I'm telling you. I don't remember. I just remember I was depressed at the time. Like, the stuff at home, mom and dad fighting, shit at school, nini.
Mimi.
When I walked in, they said, write a poem. I don't remember if that was the title they gave us or they just said, write a poem. I
So
don't
you didn't
remember.
feel as though you could be yourself. Were you gaming at that time?
Not as much.
I think me I can relate to that kabisa Saj Maze. I don't know if it's because I'm going through a bit of midlife crisis. Like I'm gonna turn 40 in a couple of years, like 4 something years. I'm literally those unks, 40-year-old unks.
You're a year older than me, bro.
So-
Don't worry.
Saj, it's like I find myself wearing so many costumes. I don't know who I am. I've been wearing costumes for decades, and I've invested so much of my emotions and personality in so many of these identities. And the speed and how easy it is to just take them off after investing so many years in them scares me.
So do you feel that within for example, if I reference what I know from you, right? So within the podcasting space, within this ether, you're a different person, within your social circle, it's similar to what you are in the podcast, but then you have your day job. It's more professional. It's more, profound in terms of the things you're doing. So you have to put on a different structure and a different face. You can't really let those two parts seep in. And there's obviously the part of you that was in rugby,
Yes.
this whole other personality.
Yeah.
And so it's all these characters clashing and trying to truly find their place. And the problem is, instead of having 2 feet stable on the ground, it's like one is in the air and it's a balancing act.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so you don't really have the correct posture, structure.
This thing, I think it goes back, and I think quite a number of people who are in my circle are gonna resonate. It's gonna resonate with them quite a lot.
That's really nice, props. You should post it up.
It ties to what I was telling you about me singing
Props.
in a choir
Pa, pa,
once.
pa, pa.
It ties to what I was telling you about me ending up in a choir once, right? So
Please, yes.
I find myself in a school where you have to choose one activity. You have to choose one activity on top of your academics, and it has to happen, and you're a Form 1, and you decide that you're going to sing, not because of any reason why you want to sing. It's because you have a deep voice, and there's space for 1, for base 2. You know, there's tenor 1, tenor 2, base 1, base 2, and you're a Form 1, and you have a very loud voice. So you're going to be a Form 1 singing base 2. And then you realize that being part of the choir, you're 14, and you're a scrawny person like me. And then you go to Nashos, all the way to Nashos, and then you have to walk out and approach girls, because that's the thing. Remember those funkies where it's the most successful person at the funky, the most masculine, the dominating at the funky, has to be approaching random girls and trying to act as if you care about what they want to say or what they think about. And you're only 14, so it makes you miserable, because you're going to hide in the bus the entire 1 week you're at nationals. So you come back and you still have to choose another activity. So you see there's a day when there's another funky being hosted in your school, and you walk past the rugby pitch and you see guys just chilling there around the field doing their own thing huko ndani. They don't have this pressure to go katia girls. We used to call it breezing. You have guys who breeze, who just sit at the tree watching other people katia approach girls to knee. And you're like, this is the solution. I'm going to play rugby, because when there's a funky around, I can be in the field and pretend to be, I'm huge on winning. I want to be Maseno school rugby. I want to defend nationals. I have to focus on it. When I'm on the field, because I don't want to talk to these girls, because I'm a scrawny dude. And then you invest all your personality in rugby, it takes over you. And now for 15 years, it's going to be the main thing that's in your mind. You're going to go and try SARMs and steroids because of rugby. But
So
in
peer
between
pressure.
up and down, peer pressure, up and down, you've been taken and you've been put at KAIST, a university in the top 50, where it's full of nuds. And your rugby is useless. You're trying to hold on to it because it's something you've invested so many years on. You're going to go with the injectables and the whatever. And then you turn 30 and your friends are passing away because they overdid it with the injectables. And now rugby is no longer important. You have to choose another costume.
It's quite layered. I think
Right?
one thing I'd say is it takes walking 1,000 miles in different shoes to realize what's the best fit for you. And maybe the 1,000 miles is a bit fucking diluted because that's too far. Let's say 1,000 steps. But anyway, walk with me on this train of reference, all right? You walk along this path, it gets you so far. You walk along a certain path, it gets you this far. You walk along a different path, it gets you that far. At the end of it, you've had 3 separate journeys. You're still you in different shoes. But when you retrospectively look at it, at a place that you are, sometimes what happens is with each step, you get more profound insight into who you really are. So the wisdom that comes with experience and age eventually shows you that, look, whatever you did here, whatever you did there, that's not you. And so you've come to this realization. Some people, it happens in their teens. Some people, it happens in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Everyone sort of comes to a realization that they wear different masks in order to please them. One of the things that helps with it, by the way, is DMT, ayahuasca, psychedelics. Especially when you do it the shamanic way, the rituals and the ayahuasca, because ayahuasca is tough work. You have to purge. So the DMT, which is the active molecule,
Ingredient, yeah.
when you basically, like, it doesn't matter how much you take. If you eat it, your bile nullifies the compound. And so when you go through a shamanic process like ayahuasca, they cleanse your body and they give you some sort of compound to erase the bile so that your body absorbs it, the DMT compound. And so rather than smoking or inhaling DMT and you have a 10-minute trip, is the sound off?
No, it's good kabisa. I'm just getting a very profound sort of perspective on what you're saying.
Yeah,
Kwa sababu,
So
maliza tu.
so what happens is you work through it, you cleanse yourself, and when people usually go through this ayahuasca trip, once you've done it, especially within the shamanic ritual, what you're faced with is not you, but other people's opinion of you. So you get a clearer look at who you are. Now, for example, if you had a very bad breakup, what happens is you see that breakup through the other person's eye and what went wrong. If you said something negatively to someone, or if you went down this path and you did this, you get a look at your life from a subjective third-party perspective. And that's why people cry and they wake up from these lucid dreams and they realize what their purpose is, or what they've done, or what they've been through was not really who they thought they are. Because right now, how I stand, I feel I'm on the correct path. I feel every argument I've had, I was right. But then if, for example, Fazar and I kosana, right? This compound helps you give his perspective as to what actually happened. And you realize, okay, fine, we can't correct the past, but what we can do is we can use the information we have to correct the future.
Yeah, so that you don't repeat the mistake kabisa.
Yeah, and so the fact that you are where you are right now is also a sign of growth. The fact that you're thinking that this is where I was, and these are all the paths that I took, and they didn't really work for me, so I'm not really sure who I am. The fact that you're confronting that hard truth means that's the first part of discovering who you are.
Yeah.
I'm no psychologist, I'm no poet, I'm no
We just
shaman
bros.
expert. We're just bros, but I feel recognizing the problem and the pattern is the first sign of growth.
It allows you to properly diagnose what the issue is. Now, I'm really curious to follow up on what you just said. This sort of transition, taking off one mask and putting on another one, when exactly when are you aware that you've actually taken the mask off? If I'm able to remove this costume that I had to wear when I was 14, to remove that costume and wear a costume that I can use right now, it's a bit different from if the costume that I've removed ilikuwa tu hapa chini, the actual me iko huko nyuma kabisa. There are layers of costumes that exist. Now,
So when do you realize?
that's the thing. Who are you? Who is Sajid?
Okay, so I'll give you a perspective of where I came from and what I had to do.
Okay.
Growing up, I was surrounded by very, very masculine cousins. It was a very boy-oriented society. And what I mean by that is the men were generally very tough, very macho guys. You know, my cousins were all men's men. And during my teenage years, one of the things was a lot of my cousins were womanizers, right? You know, they were popular kids, all the girls liked them, and they had huge body counts. And for us, the narrative was, oh, that's success, right? You know, they have the women, they have the cars, they have the look. And for a very long time, that was what I was chasing. I wanted to be that guy that people said, look at this guy, he's fucked this mama, he's done this mama. He has like 5 different dates a week.
That's the Nini and was telling me wanasumbua, the community wants you to.
So I did all that, and I remember at one point in time, I had seen like 3 different mamas in the same night. And while I was going through the motion of making love to the 3rd mama, I was like, what the fuck am I doing, bro?
Yeah, what is this?
Like, there was a realization that hit, I'm lying to all these people. I'm trying to be that person that people say, oh, he's a playboy. But does that really add any value to your life? And I was, even though I had all these women that I was speaking to and I was engaging with all of them, I was going on all those days, I never felt more lonely than I had at that time. Right? And I started earning a lot more. I started becoming a lot more successful. I mean, the podcast was doing decently well. But it was a life where I was like, okay, fine. I said I wanted to get a certain body count. I got to that body count. I said I wanted to date a certain amount of women at the same time. I got to that. You know, I had a target of how many times I needed to have sex a day with different women. Like, it was all programmed in my mind because of that teenage boy looking at his cousins getting that praise. Oh, this guy's the dog. This guy's doing this. He's a man's man. But looking at those guys that led down that life and seeing them in their 40s and 50s without wives, miserable, living alone. One of my uncles is a fucking beggar.
The guys who, it's like,
Yeah.
there's a family holiday where people meet up. And he's always out. He's always out. You see these people who okay, you're there. Mi nimeenda, nimesoma, nimerudi, you are there. I go, I don't know what has happened to Nani, one of our friends has, a kid has passed away, ama kitu kama hiyo. We come back, you're there. So you have your circle of people are evolving and they're trying as much as possible to be useful to the people around you. But wewe uko tu, you want to measure. There's a very stupid comment I saw a while back where we had a chat room, a high school chat room happening, and guys were more or less, they'd figured out that one of us was these people who borrow money and they never return. And so, like, on another side chat, one of our friends is talking about a time where he was at a mall somewhere. And so, okay, the way he was describing it is, ameenda kwa mall, this guy is sleeping in his car somewhere in the parking. So he's gone and brought drinks and he's holding girls and then meets this person. And then the guy asks him for any, I just want to pate katao hivi sina kitu yote. And then he's talking the way, I wanted to give it to him only if he agreed or admitted that I was faster than him in high school.
Oh, man.
Well, who the fuck is this man? Right? So these traumas that you see right now with this red pill moment I'm telling you about, I think kuna mali inatoka, where people wanna impose their own version of their own upbringing to define for you a one-size-fits-all definition of what it means to be masculine. Now, what's this all about?
LSD.
DMT.
You put it in your tongue.
Oh my God, I'm not going to do it on camera.
No,
So you get that.
It's a breath strip.
It's a lister.
It's a breath strip.
Mimi ni mtu wa kutumia mswaki ama sasa mkombero whatever.
Try it. Put it on your tongue. It's nice.
It's Listerine. It just wakes you up. It's mouth freshener.
There's no single time I've ever come to a podcast with Saj and I didn't get something new that is edible. There was a time he gave me that thing I was snipping.
The nootropic.
Was it nootropic?
By the way, we need to order some more things. Fuzzy, did we get the monsters?
Yeah, that.
I didn't have time to get them. I'll get them.
No worries.
No. The first one, the one I'm talking about, it was when we had Visha. You remember that car? Oh, that's really strong, eh?
But it wakes you up, yeah?
Yeah, that mint, eh? It's very similar. You remember that thing you had Miss Sniff? We were planning to start a supply chain in Babadogo, the one from Thailand.
Smelling salts.
It wasn't smelling salts.
It wasn't smelling salt.
It was parallel to smelling salts, but it was more to clear the sinuses.
Oh, was it like it was what I got from Thailand?
Yes.
It's basically, I'll
Like
try and find a
mint?
picture. We'll put it up over here.
It's like mint. Like you see that of
So it's a collection of herbs and stuff.
But
But when you open it, it's like a nasal spray that's a shotgun. So it gongas you. And it's very popular in Thailand for flus. I got some. I know what you're talking about.
Do you have
Yeah.
some? My sinuses are cock blocked.
Omer is in Thailand right now, so I'll try and get some from him. But
So it's like a Vicks, but stronger.
that thing really woke me up. Alafu najua, before I took it, my thoughts were sort of clouded. I could feel like there was a bit of, not really as sharp as I wanted. And then I sniffed it and then I was like, yeah, felt quite sharp.
shit, I forgot to message my coach for a call. Fuck.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Recently, I saw there's been a lot of...
There are a couple of things I want to talk about.
Sure.
Just continue. So you're saying, let me just message my coach. Sorry.
It's okay.
Continue. You're saying, bro.
No, I wanted to ask what you think about this fight between Nani and Nani. I saw you guys talked about it in the podcast. Mwaf and Polo Kimani. You know that youngster.
To be honest, I think
We need Saj. Before even you mention anything, I think we need to be. Me and you are millennials. Now we are in the same generation bucket with Akina Mwafreeka. We need to recognize in these youngsters who are growing up ourselves. We were very rebellious when we were in our 20s, and we were very, I don't want to use the word conformist. One of the sentiments we had with people in the other generation was that they don't understand us. That whole emo movement, that was where it came from. These people don't understand me. They don't understand my fashion. They don't understand they just don't understand me, more or less. It's very, very important for us to understand when we become those people who didn't understand us when we were young.
I'm sorry, that whole train of thought. I'm just
Imekuchanganya?
messaging.
Haina shida.
Apologies.
Maliza tu,
Fazar,
nitatell you.
so you talk with Agar.
Fazar, hebu niambie. Because you're a Gen Z, right?
You see, the thing is,
Yeah.
even the Mwaf thing, I think Saj will share the same sentiment. We don't know enough. Mwaf came on, talked about it, and we listened to his side, but I don't think either of us know enough about the conversation that was being referenced. Because I've also seen in the comments there's people who really disagree with Mwaf.
Okay, me, I disagree with Mwaf in this issue. I disagree with him kabisa. Na unajua, I know he's gonna say that I'm just disagreeing for the sake of it. He thinks I disagree with him just for the sake of
Mwaf?
it. Yeah, he feels like that. Specifically about the whole Russia and Kenyans and whatever. That's an entirely different thing, eh? But I think these guys are kids, man. Let these kids make their mistakes. Let these kids be kids. There was a time, you know, us when we were 20, and I think it's even worse for Mo, of course. It's even better for him because when he was in his 20s and he could do whatever it is, he didn't have a permanent record of it being kept.
That's the problem, is we all fuck up.
Yeah.
The issue is Mwaf has 250,000 subscribers that can watch that fuck up.
Can
And
you
I'm not saying that he fucked up, but, and he mentioned it very clearly on the podcast, is when you get to his scale, there's such a thin line you have to toe. The reason Mwaf became who Mwaf is because of his vocal nature and expressing what he felt. He never cowered behind opinions. But when you get to that percentage, you have to be so careful about what you say. It might be misconstrued and used against you, and then people start canceling you. But that means changing who you are as a person in order to
placate.
You know?
Me,
Placate inamaanisha nini?
it's like you are pandering.
To a
everyone.
large audience.
You have to present, you know, this Kawok movement that emerged a while back where there are a certain number of boxes you're supposed to tick. If you don't tick all of them, not even if you tick, there's one missing.
Yeah.
If you don't tick all of them, we're going to cancel you. Eh?
So what I don't appreciate for the Gen Z guy, he's a Gen Z guy,
He's a
right?
Gen Z. He's
I
a
don't
kid.
know him. I haven't even, to be honest, I haven't even seen what he said. But from what I gather as a reference point is, he complained about Mwaf a year and a half later. Is that true?
Okay, so this particular case, where he's talking about Mwaf being condescending, he did it a while back. Like, you know, they already, this is not like the first time they're having this part. Because me and Jobi watched literally all of Mwaf's episodes.
Yeah.
Now, I remember one of the issues, and this was playing out in X. Polo Kimani was very loud on X. Around that time, he was, after he had been abducted. That debate was there, where he was saying that this guy lectured him by Asana. Now, I'll have to say this, and I'm not saying this in any way, that is something that I see in Mwaf quite a lot, where there's I don't want to use the word condescending, but there's a dismissal of these youngsters and looking at them, judging them with that ankh energy.
Fair enough.
Where, how do we, you know, that thing where when we used to say that we were not being understood by our uncles who are in their 40s or our parents.
Right.
It's there. Now, I don't know if it's because, you know, because I can't really judge the situation because Nani is a parent and I'm not, but I teach these kids. I lecture these 50 years and 40 years, and it is very, very important for you. Already they're going to look at you at a certain way. That sort of power dynamic, that sort of difference between Mwafreeka, this is literally Mwafreeka, and Polo Kimani, there's a bit of a power differential hapo yenye. There's going to be very few instances where him and Polo Kimani, even if they just seated having a conversation, you can draw an equal side between them. There's a power dynamic there. Mwaf does not have to assert it. He doesn't have to assert it. Stop telling these kids. Let these kids be kids, man. Wache wakwe watoto. You see the way we made our mistakes when we were 21 and 20, whatever, where we would go and do all manner of dumb stuff to get laid.
I think maybe
and we would do all this stuff. Let these kids do their thing. Let them do whatever it is. Let them make their mistakes. We have to create a sort of space where this is allowed. But this sort of lecturing them and trying to impose our experiences on them. There's this thing I normally hear from our generation, specifically our generation, the millennials, where this is not the first time we've had protests. This is not the first time we've done this. True. But for them, it is. It is. Right? So this dismissal, Mimi, I will never lecture these kids about their protests and whatever, because Mimi, when I was their age, that's what the person I was. I told the line. I'm a person who toes the line.
So they have the confidence to push the boundaries.
They have it, and
which
also,
is quite respectable as well, by the way, because they're putting themselves out there.
You're gonna see this thing quite a lot if you hang out with. There's this very specific generation I found myself hanging out with. These guys who were coming of age, 1982, around the time when the coup was happening and when your N was literally could shut down Nairobi. I see more of Akina Polo Kimani, Akina, what's the name of the Somali lady? there's this Somali lady
Hanifa.
also of it. Hanifa and all these other people who are the choreographers of whatever happened 2 years ago. I see more of them in these guys who are just these boomers and the Gen Xers than I see them in us. Our generation, Sajid, if you look at the things these guys were doing, you know those guys, some of them spent time in jail. Eh?
Chill, yeah.
Some of them spent time in jail. If you look at us, we were a bit of a... there
It's
is
a bit of
no-
soft era.
We did not advance the...
Political narrative.
Yes. There was no relay. That relay race where it was supposed to be the Gen Xers and the boomers to run their race, do their thing, give it to us, we run ours, and then we give it to the Gen X.
But Agar,
Gen Z, yeah.
doesn't that go back to the saying is tough times create tough men. Tough men create easy times.
Mm-hmm.
Easy times create weak men.
Mm.
Weak men create tough times.
Mm.
Tough times create tough men.
So it becomes an infinite loop. Eh?
So there's obviously one aspect
Mm.
of a generation that will be at the bottom, at the middle, at the high end.
Mm.
And that's the way life works, right? It's just something we can't avoid.
Yes. Mm.
So we have to have... Okay, just to maybe close this out on Mwaf, I think Mwaf normally gives the advice as advice. But if it comes off as condescending,
Mm.
maybe that's why there's this whole
Friction.
friction.
Mm.
But knowing him and how far he's got, I'm sure he will adjust
Mm.
and he will do what he needs to do, all right?
Mm.
There's a saying that great men will plant the trees
Mm.
in which the shade they will never get to rest in.
Mm.
So you have to sort of have building blocks
Mm.
in each culture of great men
Mm.
who will set up
Guys who have that sort of perspective.
perspective.
Mm.
This is definitely not going to benefit me, but it'll benefit the future generation. And
Mm.
maybe in our generation, it's less there versus what you're seeing in the Gen Z.
Yeah.
Because of what the suffering they've gone through. So
Mm.
again, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, at the same time, just mentioning it because it's very, very important for us to identify that.
I hope you're not pressed for time. There's still a few more things I want to talk about.
Maybe it's a Friday night and I'm a 36-year-old who prefers to go home to his kitten.
Ukona kitten.
Maze.
See, how long have we been going on for?
142.
Okay, there's still a few more
tuko
minutes.
karibu, yeah.
So there's the clavicular ascension.
What's that all about?
So you know who clavicular is, right?
Sounds like the name for a vampire or something.
But basically, he's a guy that looks into looks maxing. We can put up clav on the screen.
Ah,
Clavicular.
wewe inafaa tukupeleke nini soul for aesthetics sort of pilgrimage.
It's very big
'Cause-
in the culture over there. In fact, they fat shame. You know that if you're fat in Korea, South Korea,
Man, like alafu, dude, like we normally hear about plastic surgery where it's like the double eyelid. Now there's sort of softening the jaws and jaws, not really softening it. Like there's a way it's supposed to come and be sharp.
Contouring.
Contouring, yeah. You know those guys, they have like calf reduction surgery.
Why
Guys don't want ziguembe. It's not
It's not.
it's not feminine to have proper ziguembes.
It's weird. It's this whole. So the way he does it is he tells you there's a rating you can achieve on each face, and so there's certain mechanisms and practices you can do to improve your facial structures. So one of them is called bone smashing, where you purposely hit yourself on the cheekbones to create, I guess, dentures in your skull. And what happens is the skin swells up, so you have this cheekbones that stand out. What he's gone through recently is he's done, I think it's called a rhinoplasty, where he did a nose job.
Okay.
And to be honest, he looked so much better before. And now he's done a nose job, and then he's getting his ears. There's a certain practice where they close your ears together, and then eventually he's going to get a jaw surgery. He's removed his wisdom tooth. And the thing is, the guy has such a crazy following that people actually, young kids, bro, they've started Peptides. They've started this whole train of, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with Peptides. I think it's a safer bet. But when you're a teenager, it's a bit different.
Yeah, man.
And teenagers going through surgery, I think he's had his height increased. He's
What's up with the dude? Like, how old is he?
21, 22.
Like, dude.
He's very young.
Born 2005. The
How
fuck?
old? Yeah, he's young. Yeah, he's 20 years.
20.
21 on.
Like what's the background behind it? I'll be curious to hear what's the
Obviously,
trauma behind this.
I think he felt as though he didn't look a certain way. And so this looks maxing culture has become so toxic that kids are doing it, man.
body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia.
You know, us when we were in the gym and we were ninning, you would see another guy who's buff there, compare yourself to him, and the only route to bettering him had to just turn up in the gym and just do it. Hoping that one day you're gonna be able to. Now, of course, it would go overboard at some point. Start with the steroids and all that.
Yeah.
But come on, this is a bit extreme.
Let me make it even worse for you. So leave alone the bone smashing pseudoscience. He advocates for taking crystal meth to suppress appetites.
Yeah, I heard that.
And taking anabolic steroids to become muscular, which have made him infertile.
Yeah, he knows he's
Can
infertile.
you
He is
imagine?
infertile
He's
at
a 21-year-old.
20.
Can you believe that shit?
But so do you know what looks maxing is?
Like, okay, I've seen it before. I've seen the ninis on Instagram. But I didn't know it could go that extreme.
So it started off as a very like simple thing. They'll give like a massage for your jaw to make it look a bit sharper. Nini.
There was a time when guys really benefit from that. That time there was a sort of jaw.
Yeah, you
jaw
put
cocaine.
jaws size. Like you place your tongue on the top of your wall, or you bite.
Mewing.
This
Exactly, the biting one.
Mewing.
The biting one where there was like
Jaws
this
size,
thingy where you have to buy for like $13 when it's clearly just a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And then you have to, when you're in the gym, you're what the fuck?
And people were doing that.
Human beings are always going to be insecure. This is the age of the internet. That is what comes with connectivity.
I think it's one of the signs of the end of times is when people adjust their bodies and do things to themselves. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, man. They're ready to upload our psyches into the cloud, so we no longer need our body. So they want to do as many experiments on bodies to see what is the ultimate way to achieve that ultimate physique.
But how
Huh?
are things with you with the nuclear society? Like any developments over there? Because you've been traveling quite a lot. You ended up going somewhere, right? You flew
Yeah, I
somewhere.
was in South Africa for the Nini. I got an award. Apparently, I'm one of the Africa Energy elites. They forced me to wear a suit. You see that's the only picture I have of a suit, man. And like my family was like, "Hey, Ujama Kombe, if he can clean up."
I'm so happy
What is
for
that?
you.
What
bro.
does that even mean? I can clean. I think I'm clean, Ama. Fazar. What do you think?
You can dress well.
You can dress better.
This guy,
I saw him in a suit.
exactly. That's
Is
When
it
he
on
came to the-
Instagram?
No, he came to the data center. How was that tour?
You've seen what Nani mentioned. The lady I had who joined us, Michelle
Yes.
Watike.
Yes.
She had it a story there on IG, and this data center nuclear duality has to be. We have to keep on repeating it all over the place because the president himself was able to identify it. We had ICON, International Conference on Nuclear Energy, here in Nairobi. We were hosting it, and he talked about. I think we talked about it with you, where G42 and Microsoft were supposed to set up a data center
Yeah.
in Olkaria. It's supposed to be 1 gig worth of power. Supposed to suck in 1 gig worth of power, and he had it signed. Supposed to be having like Azure services available from a data center hosted here in Olkaria. But then he came back with the thingy and he was like, okay, this is the investment that the Americans want to put up. And there was no power. There wasn't enough power that one investment would have made up for almost the last 10 years worth of waste.
Well,
Right.
it depends if it went in the right hands. But I think what I usually say is if Ruto wants to go to the moon, us as private sector needs to figure out how to make sure we get there. Whether it's an
and it's the
unrealistic or
reason-
realistic goal, is our job is to make sure whatever the president wants, we get.
You know, Saj, I don't want to say that I'm getting a bit exasperated by how much I feel as if I'm the only one who's screaming this. But what the fuck? We're supposed to be the digital savannah,
Yeah.
and we've already talked about power supply. It has to be part of the discussion. We have a policy paper that has been developed by the Ministry of, I think it's communications or something, or IT or whatever, and there's nothing there about power. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing there about power. They just talk about, the classical talking points. So we're going to get net zero sources. We're going to ban biomass, which is more or less fancy charcoal. And I keep on, I'm trying as much as possible. The conversation around this thing, the conversation about getting you guys to invest in it, because you guys are the ones with money. If we're going to do any private-public partnership, It has to be the data center people. It has to be the Microsoft and all these people. The only place we're gonna be able, the only reason we're gonna be able to make a nuclear power project in Kenya bankable is gonna be this: the data centers. We have so many submarine cables landing along the coast. We are literally the gateway into East Africa. Anybody who wants to build a data center, be it Amazon or the behemoths out east like Huawei and Tencent, they're gonna build them in Mombasa. The only reason they're not doing it is because we don't have enough power. And I try as much as possible to get people to, this has to be the conversation, but nobody sees the need for it.
But
I don't know what's up. I don't know if I'm being too, that's what I normally use, autistic about it.
I agree with you. There was recently Madung, Odang Madung.
I think you guys,
I've
the
had
MIT
him
guy,
before.
is it MIT or Harvard?
I think,
It's
it was
Harvard.
Harvard.
Right? Yeah.
What he recently mentioned was, in reference to a tweet that he saw, I'll try and find it, is that a lot of the Kenyan event culture is just a big hoo-ha and show about doing something rather than actually doing the thing.
Yep.
So if we have I can try and find that tweet. Just give me 1 second. But it was really relevant to what we are talking about. Odang. So give me 1 second and we'll put this up over here.
His Twitter is Odangaring.
Yes. Give me 1 second.
I don't know if he came of age around that time. There was, get over, bend over. Like that was called daggering, right? Dagger. That's very obscene dance.
But are you going to watch the World Cup?
I only learned yesterday that there's a World Cup.
And what are people saying? South Africa and Mexico are the same. What's the joke around that?
The game was apparently shit. South Africa, the way they lost, apparently.
It was today?
Yesterday.
But people are saying South African and Mexicans are the same thing. There's a joke trending. Do you guys know what that is about?
Guys are being, guys are a bit vindictive with South Africans.
Yeah,
because of the
xenophobia. But the one thing I did see is there's a Somali referee.
Man.
So Saj doesn't know this.
I know. No, I saw that he was denied visa. Yeah.
He had visa and everything. They just told him
he was denied access. Sorry.
They said you're a terrorist and they sent him back.
Dude, and
I heard he's got a job at UEFA now.
Yeah, UEFA are having him in one of the matches.
I saw guys who are supporting that bullshit, and it's always going to be Kenyans. I don't know what it is with Kenya and adopting these narratives, this xenophobia. Sometimes some of us actually forget that we're Africans. You have so many things that you're going to hear from the Trump when he's talking down to the Mexicans or the Somalis. And you actually have Kenyans who have invested this sort of delusion that whenever these guys are being racist, it sort of excludes.
Yeah, they believe
Kenyans.
They're better. They're like, oh, I'm not the sheep. These guys are the sheep. What Trump says is right.
Superiority complexes where you get Kenyans in Europe who meet Asians there and feel as if they know Europe more than Asians. So Europe and Asia have been trading with one another for thousands of years. We were the dark continent for like most of human history. But somehow, Kenyans, we feel that we know more about the Europeans and the Westerners than actual people who have interfaced with this.
It happens in other cultures as well. Like I know Indians who go to UK hate immigrants Indian immigrants who come to the UK. They're like, I was born here. My dad was an immigrant, and they don't like current
guys who are
immigrants.
Gonna come in.
So I found the tweet. It's by Vin Wambua, and we'll put it up over here. Just left the Kenya Space Expo early. Total disaster. Beautiful banners, great catering, everyone is eating, nobody's building.
Yeah, guys are going to go home.
0 rockets. I walked in, looked around and thought, are we running a tourism agency or an aerospace program? Absolute phony. So Madung retweeted and quoted that's why he doesn't attend events in Kenya, because most of them are just all talk and fluff. And so in reference to what you're initially saying is there's good ideas, there's good agenda, but good ideas are only as good as them when they're executed.
The conferences.
And we need execution.
Yeah.
So this conference business is just a business rigmarole to get money in. But there's no substance behind actually making these things work.
What is the deliverable?
By the way, is there any space for me to work with you guys in the Nuclear Space Agency?
Nuclear Space Agency?
Sorry. Because I need to get involved. The thing is beyond what I'm doing in the data center space. I need to be involved in this power discussion. So is there any way that I can step up and contribute?
Yep.
And is there good money?
Yep. I can see a bankability sort of path.
See, me and you, we partner together. But we do something. What genuinely, what what can I do as an expert or subject matter expert in local data center industry?
You know, I saw this guy working, and you know, like most of the interactions I'd had with him was like in settings companies where we're going to talk about porn and I don't know what. And then I saw this guy. He was explaining about passive safety. You know, passive safety is very key in nuclear power plants. And there's a joke he gave about heat rising and the I don't know, there's physics more or less. Hot air is always going to rise, and then it's going to be the cold one down here. And then he was like, this is proof that hell is colder than heaven.
The heaven is hotter than hell.
And you know, like the guy I was with, a chairman, that's really our chairman.
Yeah,
And
he's a solid guy.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He loved it. And he was like, who is that friend? Who is that colleague of yours? I want him to make more jokes like that next time we meet. So there is a very explicit point of intersection between the two. Unfortunately, it has a lot to do with the conference. It has a lot to do with the conference. In South Africa, I tried to convince a couple of the people who more or less invited us, nuclear people, there for the conference on power, that East Africa, specifically Kenya, is the place to do something similar for data centers. And she was talking about private businesses and how bankable would that be? Because it's not really, like, theirs is not really a conference. It's more of an expo. Like in that one in Cape Town, we had companies from China, all over the place. Yeah. So that I want something similar to that here in Kenya, specifically for data. And we have the ultimate salesperson for data seated just next to me. That's
Bro,
a conversation we'll have, bro.
I'm open.
We'll have that conversation. I'm having I don't know if I can invite you, if I have that, whatever, but I'm meeting the new nuclear. You mentioned something about Nuclear Society. Yeah? So we had our first change of office, Nuclear Society, in May. The founding cohort, the president, secretary general, and all that, they've left office. Now we have a new office in, new individuals in, new officials in, and I'm gonna be hosting a couple of them at Nupea on Tuesday. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have the liberty. I'm one of the directors, but I don't know if I have the liberty to invite you. But I'm inviting you because I want to talk about data centers there.
From what time to what time?
From 9 in the morning. We're meeting that 9. If you want, I can send you a driver to come pick you if you want.
Kweli.
Maze. Can you imagine, Fazar? I
So
get a driver.
would you like me to talk about data centers in the space?
I want nuclear data centers. From now moving on, any place where data centers are being talked about, any place where nuclear is being talked about, I want that duality. I want them to be the same side of the different sides of the same coin, because that's the bankability of it. And the political class, the ultimate, our president is aware of this, that the only reason why the Silicon Savannah is not hosting data centers on the scale it should is because we don't have enough power. And
Correct.
there's a couple of guys who want a nuclear plant. So that has to be the conversation.
So is it like a conference or is it just like a meeting with people?
The one on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The one on Tuesday, it's an introductory meeting between the new officials and the directors at Nupea.
How many people are there?
For the directorship, I think it's only going to be three of us.
Okay, so it's like a room less than 10 people.
Yeah. But the Nuclear Society people are about 7.
Okay.
So, but then I have another person who's going to join us.
I don't
who's
mind
a
talking.
professor.
I get normally very nervous when it comes to public speaking. So you can hold my hand.
Well, you already know 3 people up.
Yeah, that's
people are
fine.
going to be there. There's going to be me. There's going to be the professor.
Okay, I have a meeting at 1, I know, with a customer.
Okay.
So I don't mind coming in the morning.
Come. Talk to us. There's another guy I've invited. He's a professor at KU, Kenyatta University. He's going to come there because of an event that we're going to host next year. Very first time outside America. It's called Nuclear Innovation Bootcamp. They're going to come here to Kenya. So I want him to be there when that meeting is happening. Tokyo, by the way, officially Tokyo.
Okay.
I'll send you an invite. I'll send you an official invite.
Yeah, so done. I'll figure.
Sure.
Even if I just have to keep quiet and just comment, I don't mind.
Like familiarity, yeah? Like any place where we're going to be talking nuclear, I want that data center dimension to be there.
Yeah.
Now, so the plan is on LinkedIn, we're going to have the new officials from Nupea, not Nupea, from Nuclear Society of Kenya, had a visit to Nupea offices, and President wa Sajid Bayani from Polo. You see that narrative that is organic but not forced.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. So I guess we've covered quite a lot, guys.
Nani nakuja when? Alex Mativo and Michelle, the 2 ladies.
So Alex came. He
you
came
guys
to see the data center.
Okay.
I was in South Africa at that time. So Get Duck. It's part of the process he's organizing. He's traveling for a month.
Okay.
We are going to touch base after that. But my team essentially gave him a tour. He saw the site. He was quite impressed. The problem is the data center where we were, that one is full. So we're now targeting Nairobi 2, which is the big one, which you guys didn't get to see.
Yeah.
So once that's ready, that's 6 times the size of what you saw.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more impressive. It's a data center that honestly, to be honest, is the next big thing. So, but thanks for that intro. So
I want both of them on your kapot. Has this guy hosted a lady on his podcast? Ah, he has. You know, there's a time guys were trying to.
But I'll
cancel
get her.
him.
Could you give me her number, please?
Yeah, Michelle is
I'll message Michelle. I'll tell her we met at Polo. Love to have you on the podcast to talk about this. And I think her, with the social media stuff she does, I think she would be more aligned to have. And honestly, I'd rather have subject matter experts like her. Especially those that have a very definitive story about their journey and what they've done so far. And it's quite inspiring.
Yeah.
So definitely. I appreciate you always supporting me, bro.
Vilinafa.
Guys, I'll link all Agar's details in the description.
I want to add something here.
Yes, sir.
So Agar, with your vegan whatever, and you decide to eat nyama, I make a very mean steak and mashed potatoes.
I was actually going to suggest that.
Is it true?
Is for his, I've never tasted, but I've heard it's quite good. For your virginity being broken.
Like, it's not even virginity.
I get like dry age, like I get
celibacy jolly coming to an end.
Dude.
You know, celibacy, guys go and you're gonna fuck like 12 guys in a month.
Guys.
And then they're gonna, okay, this is that's a bit gay, yeah, so girls are gonna go to Dubai and have like 12 sheikhs run a train on her, and then they're gonna go on a 30-year celibacy journey.
The fuck? No, I do a nice dry
Human
age
beings
ribeye, garlic mashed potatoes, and asparagus.
That sounds
When are we doing this?
You tell me when.
That sounds really good.
You can make it like
I'm going next week to course. The week after, I'll plan. I'll have my butcher do some nyama. We do.
that's 20?
I'll be back on 21st, basically.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm available your wiki mzima.
Yeah, then we can plan something.
I think we should do
We
something.
have a place over here. We just wake up the Jiko.
That would be nice.
Nice.
That one I can do.
You'd be open to that?
Yeah, and then it's a sort of setting where you're just going to turn up there to eat nyama and guys go home. There's still stuff. You know, we're at that age where guys, when you meet up with your boys, there's stuff to be discussed.
It'll just be me, you, Fazar.
Yeah.
There's Fazar's brother, but we don't really need to bring him.
Woo! Udzama, this guy has skills.
Why don't we do
Mbona
this?
amenyamazia skills zake?
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do it at Faraz's house?
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Let me call him right now.
Ask Beast. I've cooked for Beast. Andrew, Shuffle, I've cooked for them. Ask them.
But then Shuffle, what's Shuffle doing, Mazi? It's been a while since I saw him, eh?
No, he's just posting. He's just dealing with some stuff. But he's still got the business and everything going.
Okay, Mazi. Huh? I need to check up on these people once in a while, man.
But he's still around.
Faraz karaoke guest of the show. You know Faraz, yeah?
Yes, I know him, eh?
Faraz, niaje?
Salama.
Sasa, I'm recording and you're on the mic. So
Okay.
That's
that's the only way I can ask for $1 million without you saying no. What I was saying is I'm here with the Agar. You know Agar Schrödinger, the nuclear scientist,
Yeah.
and Fazar. We were planning on doing a boys get together, and I said, you know what? For the longest time, we wanted to do it at Faraz's house. He's always invited me for steaks, and I always dip. So in about a week, Fazar's brother's getting married, and then Akirudi, we want to break Agar's virginity because he's a vegan and he wants to have meat.
Not virginity.
Okay, somewhat. So can we plan
Celibacy.
something at your place? We'll get the nyamas, we do steaks, we do something
Yeah.
nice. So this is done. All right?
Okay. Salama.
And then offline, you can reject me if you want. But anyway. So I hope you're doing
But
well,
no
bro.
pressure, man. No pressure.
No, but Faraz, you see, the thing is, the reason Faraz and Fazar get along is because both these gents are very fucking serious about their steaks. So I'd rather we do something combined,
Okay.
and because it's been a while since you've eaten meat,
Yeah. Make it
we
memorable.
do it memorable, and we catch up with Faraz. Faraz is good vibes, especially after a few cups of wine.
Nice.
So
So may bring the wine, huh?
I'll bring the wine. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. Cheers, Faraz. Thank you so much, bro.
Salama. No,
Take it easy.
Looking forward to seeing you, dude. Meshkuru.
So that's the plan. We do it at Faraz maybe the following weekend. Once you come back, we organize steaks. We get some stuff, nice food. We just catch up, just us boys.
Cheers.
Done.
Hapo pia tutakuwa tushaongea. We've seen what's available for us to nini.
Awesome.
Just have that
awesome.
organic, casual, but also there's something.
Yeah,
coming out
no.
of it.
Trust me. And it's obviously I want you to also, because Faraz is very knowledgeable when it comes to the ICT space.
Yeah.
So there's obvious, and he's very well versed. Anyway, this is, bro, I always love the conversations we have. Thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show.
you for having me.
As I mentioned, guys, I'll link all Agar's details in the description where you can find him. He's also his new book he wrote about nuclear
Maze.
energy. We'll plug that in over there.
Yeah.
This video will be out for members as well. So do sign up to our membership. It's like 200 shillings a month, guys. Early access videos. But if you haven't subscribed and you'll reach this point, and yeah. But thank you so much. We'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.